Everyone, how's it going? Welcome to another one of these reveal streams. Thank you for joining us for this reveal stream. We know there's a lot of reveal stream options. Let us know how everything's sounding. Can you guys hear audio? We redid some stuff. You can see I'm in a different area.
Yeah.
Don't fucking panic, anyone. This is actually, this is the game studio.
That's right.
Yeah, so I'm in the game studio, and you think so. It's a little different. So, Ray, is everything okay over there? Can you?
Yes, I am at home still, pantless, so because I don't have to go into work. So.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Polychrome. Thank you for using your lab mandrill for 23 months. Why is it called a building if it's already built? That's interesting. It is a noun. It is a verb and a noun.
I don't know English, Polly. You're asking the wrong people. We don't know math or English.
Yeah.
And thank you, Melody. I shouldn't be blowing my mic out anymore.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, we're excited for Minions Army. It's about time. It's probably the best thing that GW could do for a crossover.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good for GW. Good for them. It's not, it might ruin the game, but it's good to see people do well.
Yeah, and as GW shills, we just want them to make money. Yeah. That's all we care about.
Yeah, I think that if there's a Minions Army, first of all, who on the stream is going to play the Minions Army? Who's called dibs on it?
Well, seeing as they're Chaos, I would play them, probably. So
Minions would be a Chaos Army?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, they're evil. I think Gru is probably the, sixth Chaos God now? Because they already have 5.
Yeah, so. I don't know. Can I be honest with you? I've never seen Despicable Me. I've never seen.
Can I be honest? Me neither.
Yeah, I've never seen any of these movies. All I know is I'm like in the dentist's office, and there's like an ad for Invisalign, and there's like a minion on the ad, and I'm like, well, why are there so many minions everywhere all the time? This is one of my major complaints about our society.
Is the abundance of minions or the lack of minions in other properties?
I think the abundance of minions, specifically in advertising, just in everything, right? Like
we're in the bluey area. Oh my gosh, they've already moved on.
Oh, we're doing bluey stuff now.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
How is Bluey different than Blue's Clues?
Bluey is a family of. It's like a family. It's like a dog, right? They're dogs. Right?
Blue's Clues is a blue dog too.
It's a blue dog, yeah.
Yeah, so there's no new ideas. They couldn't even come with a different color.
Just don't ask what the minions were doing in the 1930s and 40s. Yeah, right.
We know.
Yeah, or like the 70s and 80s or the 50s.
Just really any time.
Anytime, yeah. All right, Saray, let's chat some actual Age of Sigmar here today.
Fine, if you insist.
Now, one thing I want to do, I want to cover a couple things before this stream starts. Their stream, which we'll watch. We have a little view for it. Don't worry. Here.
Look at.
There it is. There's the view. And if you get tired of us, I don't know why there's a mouse there. Can you guys see the mouse? We can do this and we can disappear, but you can still hear us, right? Oh, actually, I don't think they can hear you if we do that.
That's fine, I guess.
That's
fine. I talk too much anyhow.
Oh wait, you know what I can do even better? That's even funnier is I could just do that.
That is much funnier.
Yeah. We can move around. We can move around and check things out. This is actually going to be great.
This is you guys should probably just go to another stream because we're going to be doing that
you guys might want to. You know what? Go ahead. We'll give you. A few minutes.
We don't blame you.
Just get out of here right now. If you want to go to another stream. Okay, so here's the question for you, Saray.
Yes.
If it is Chaos Dwarves, question number 1. we've seen some potential names out there of what this faction is going to be called. It's not going to be called Chaos Dwarves. What is this faction going to be called?
Okay, so I've seen in a White Dwarf, Hellmiths of Hashut.
Yeah, do you like that?
I like it. I think it's an accurate term. It's very trademark friendly.
It's accurate, but is it appropriate?
Yeah, I think it's appropriate. Hellmiths.
Okay.
With one L, so it's not two L's, so you don't get in too much trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Hellmiths is good. Saul was saying Homies of Hashut. Yeah, that's a good one. There was another one, Saul. You said one yesterday. No?
Yeah, go ahead.
I can't. It's distracting me.
Soups asked that we do this.
Okay.
Soups, thank you. Soup says, do that thing where the DVD logo where it bounces around. Now, if you're young, you won't know what this is, but this used to be a screensaver. If you're young, like I'm saying, like maybe 29 or younger, this used to fascinate the hell out of us.
Oh, yeah.
We loved this shit back in the 2000s.
It's never going to go in the corner, though. I'm sorry.
It never goes in the corner. All right, we're going to put it in the corner. Thanks, Soups. Thank you for the support, as always. Doink.
Okay. You know what's bad is that these have round corners, so you can't actually doink off of the corner. This is terrible. Terrible design, YouTube.
Chaos Dowie isn't good enough for.
Yeah, wouldn't it be Chaos Dwarden or whatever?
Yeah.
What are they called in Age of Sigmar now? It's Dwarden, right?
Dwarden, yeah. Yeah. Are you? Okay, so Hellmiths of Hashut. What else? Homies of Hashut. That's obviously not going to be.
Homeboys of Hashut.
That would be problematic, to be honest with you.
I'm for it.
Yeah. So we actually a lot Hashut hat lords. Actually, this came up. We don't cover White Dwarf on our channel really very often. We don't get it.
Yeah.
But they
as we said earlier, we can't read, so.
Yeah, they brought up Hashut in this White Dwarf in this past week. Yeah. Which is a little interesting, right? Like they've never talked to us yet. Oh, are they going live? Oh no, wait, the graphics have changed? Is this them?
Let's go.
Are they live? Okay.
No, they're not live, but the stream hasn't started, but you might as well switch over.
Okay.
But you were saying, Saul saying Hordes of Hashut, I think is a good one. Oh, it's moving. See? We were already ahead of them. We had the moving stuff before, so. I guess we should talk about what we think is going to be shown, right? Okay, so I think if you're going to show a new army, you got to start with a cannon. Now, there's a million variations of cannons here, but I think they're going to show a cannon. I think they'll show probably the equivalent of obviously they show like basic infantry. I guess I'm curious if it's going to be, with the Chaos stuff, it's all been balloon boys flying, right? Lots of flying units. They have the Arcanaut Company, but that's like, they haven't gotten any other ground units besides that.
Well, they've got to wait. They have to start with the basic infantry, right?
Yeah, of course.
And then you said cannon.
Yeah, so they're gonna. I guess I'm wondering if the army is going to be foot slogging, 4-inch move infantry. Do you?
Yeah. This is a great question. And folks at home, do you think? We've seen some suggestions that maybe this is a multi-racial, a multi-species faction, right? There might be humans involved in this. There might be, one of the things we were excited about is the potential option that there might be like beastmen or something involved in it, right?
I mean, that's still my wish.
Yeah.
I still want to see beastmen as a part of a part of AoS. I don't really care how they exist. I just want them back.
Yeah.
If that means they have to be part of Chaos Dwarves, then so be it. But they've already shown that they'll put humans, right? They have Horns of Hashut, which is the war cry warband. I doubt we'll see the return of orcs because they had orc slaves or orc laborers, whatever you want to call them.
Or they had hobgoblins, right? Hobgrots.
I could see hobgoblins or hobgrots returning, but I don't think they'll return to orcs. I think humans are likely. They could, of course, just do a completely new race that we haven't seen before. That'd be interesting. Yeah, Dark Elves. Yeah, there you go. Dark Elves are part of Chaos Dwarfs now.
just why not?
Yeah, whatever. Everything is actually they're all giants too.
So here's the question. All right, so we've all talked at length about what else are we going to see in this preview? What do we see? They said 6 games.
Yeah,
what
everyone. Else? What are we going to see that isn't Chaos Dwarfs?
We don't follow anything else anymore. So what's happening? New Space Marines, and I'm saying that like, oh, of course, blah blah. Votann, okay.
Votann. Ooh, so it's a dwarf heavy.
They always count Melody to know what's going on in the 40k world.
Yeah, Melody knows what's up.
Okay, so
Melody should just run this show. Honestly, Melody should just run this.
At least the 40k part of it.
Yeah, they know much better than I do.
Heresy. What's going on in Heresy?
No one's playing it because everyone's mad, I think.
Are they? I thought
there was a. So I think what they're going to show is they're going to show probably all the Legends units, any refreshes that are happening with Legends units.
Wait. Okay. You know what'd be really funny?
What?
Is if when they announced things going to Legends, they did it on this show like it was cool. like they like all the different camera angles. It's like spinning. It's like, and then it's like your favorite model, and it's like spinning. It's gone to Legends.
Gone to Legends. Get fucked. I think
that's it. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's not that funny.
It's very for 40k. I want to see Salamander's 40k units. I think that's something they've kind of been hinting at is regular, so Codex compliant chapters getting their own special units, probably like they did with 8th edition with an addition of a character. I think if I could, wish list something that does into existence, it would be specialized units that you see in Heresy. So that'd be like pyroclasts for 40k. I think if I was really, really dreaming big, Salamanders would become a non-Codex compliant chapter and would get a whole range like Blood Angels or Space Wolves or something.
Yeah, I mean...
Black Templar Space... Oh, see, Mortal Reverie also... We should
okay, thank you. Mortal Reverie. Okay, it says 40k, Black Templar, Space Marine Codex 2.0, really, Leagues of Votann, 30k, new Mark 4, new Mark 5, new Cataphracti. Do we need those things, I guess?
So...
Are they upscaling?
So Mark 4 and Mark 5, yes. It's insane to me that they haven't done Mark 5 yet. That is called Heresy Era Armor, and that's the one they don't have any versions of. They have some old Forge World. The Forge World doesn't exist anymore.
We have Cataphracti, huh?
Yeah, but with the new scale of things, they look a little small. Same thing with Tartaros, actually. Tartaros look quite small in comparison to a lot of the new stuff.
So they are scaling up. Okay.
I could definitely see that. Sorry, I'm blowing my mic out again. I'm getting excited. Terminator just get me going. Yes, of course, Black Templars. Space Marine Codex 2.0, again, I think that's going to be something like we've seen with 8th edition. What was that? There was a previous edition where halfway through they started reintroducing a bunch of new stuff. The model selection was pretty light, and I assume that's what's going to happen again. I don't think we're going to see huge things for Space Marine Codex 2.0. I'm very curious what's up with Black Templars too, or the new Black Templars, because they got a range refresh not that long ago with Sword Brethren and High Marshal Helbrecht and all that.
Wait, would you be into... Sorry, we're going all over the place. Chat's got some... Would you be into... Thank you, Mortal Reverie, for gifting 5 memberships, by the way. We appreciate it. We appreciate the support. We appreciate all support. Thank you, folks at home.
They redid the Cataphracti design? Really? Did I miss that?
Wait, before we do that, though, quick, weird one. Would you be excited or be into, what does it say there? New paints? Oh no, Saray just dropped. He'll be right back. New paints would be pretty interesting. Yeah. Oh, he's in Discord. Okay. He's speaking to me from beyond the void, yeah. He's just feeding me lines. These are his lines mostly. There he is. He's back.
Hello.
Oh yeah, it was like a Zoom. All right. Yeah. Would you be in the new paints, Saray? How would you vote? Like,
would I be in the new paints? Yeah, actually, you know what? If GW did oil and enamel paints, I'd super be into it. If they
Oh,
were good. If
oils,
they were good,
interesting.
obviously. But that's something they haven't touched yet. I'd be super into that.
I'll be honest with you. I've been on record as bringing this up multiple times. Everybody knows this about me who follows. I love GW Air, Citadel Air. I think it's like the nicest consistency. I love the collection. One of my favorite things about Citadel paints is just the colors. They just have
Yeah.
great colors. They'll make a color that another paint company won't. I mean, nowadays they do. But yeah, actually, you know what Melody's saying right here? Reformulated base paints. It's actually funny that she brings that up because I was recently thinking that too. Exact same thing, Melody, recently. I was like, I kind of like Citadel base paints. I love air, but I was just like the base paint is, yeah, it's like, it's a little too thick.
Oh, really? I was gonna say that I think their base paints have pretty poor coverage. I was using some in a tutorial that you'll see tomorrow, and was surprised because base paint's supposed to be like their most opaque, strongest
Well,
colors, as opposed to layer, which are like a little bit
was
more.
it a base metallic?
No, it was
No,
it was a tan color, and I was kind of bummed. I guess we've gotten so spoiled with like other paints we use, like I don't know, Vallejo is just so much stronger for base. I know that's not what everyone wants. I was actually talking to Timbit, who's in our Discord, who's an amazing painter. He was saying he's getting tired of everyone going for like super strong opaque paints, and that
Yeah.
he kind of likes those, but like personally, I'm the complete opposite. I want to be able to thin something down to
I
a
see.
consistency I want, whereas I can't make something more opaque without
Yeah,
changing the color.
they had an air range, then they reduced it, and it actually weirdly how they reduced it didn't bother me. It's like none of the ones that got lost, that went back to only being layer. I was like, oh, I wasn't using those anyway. But I kind of would like the air range expanded. I would say that to folks at home, even if you don't airbrush, grab one bottle. Grab one bottle of Moot Green or like Caldor Blue or like the red one, and grab an air one and see if Mephiston Red. See if you like it better as an air paint. I bet you will. That's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna contradict you right here in front of
Yeah.
everyone. I used a metallic air.
No,
for the-
no, not those,
Okay.
not those.
Yeah,
No,
I used one of those
not
for the tutorial and immediately say that you should probably not use this.
No, not those. Phoenician purple as an air paint is like, it's just like perfect right out of the bottle for both an airbrush and for yeah. All right, so maybe paint, but probably not. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know if I've heard that from anyone. Have you heard that from anyone? I haven't heard that from anyone.
No, I mean, hey, if they want to move into oils and enamels, I'm for it.
That'd be
I guess.
interesting. That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
All right, but the point is, whatever wild speculation you put in chat, we're gonna go down a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, people talking about just needing bigger jars. Can you imagine
a mason like
a
this.
mason jar of known oil that you're going to spill?
Black Library. That's cool. I don't read, but
Can't read.
yeah, I can't read. I don't read. But that's cool. That's cool.
For Black Library, I would really want to see some follow-ups. We still haven't gotten the Black Legion book, the third one, right, from Aaron Dembski-Bowden. Really, sorry, not Black Legion. The is it Black Legion or Abaddon series? I forget what it's called. Black Legion. Hoping for that. I want to see the next book in the Emperor Spears trilogy, not trilogy, but Emperor Spears books.
Oh, I thought it was starting. I think Saray's just skipping in and out. Yeah, Black Library, I'm kind of meh on. I have not been watching it. I have not been zoomed. I didn't click anything. There we go. I think you're back. Yeah, I have not been doing enough reading of any Black Library, so I can't really ask for anything.
Yeah, Beckwin book. Yeah, so that's what I was going to say before I disappeared.
Yeah.
Was it Pandemonium, I think it's called? Yeah, I think honestly what I want to see, they don't do it for these shows, but I'd like to see more Black Library characters made into models. And that'd be pretty cool.
I mean, they've been doing that, right?
Yeah, they just don't do them during these shows. Sorry,
Saw,
blowing my mic out again.
I do have Audible. I have Audible, and I listen to books all the time, but not Black Library books. Usually non. I've been listening to a lot of nonfiction recently. Yeah. All right. So for the rest of the time until they start, should we just?
Yeah, hit it. This is what we want. This is what people want. He's a man over 35. Hey, like in 2 years, I gotta start listening to real life stuff. I can't. Keep listening to Black Library escapism.
Yeah, right now I'm listening to this book called The Devil in the White City. It's about the 1890 Chicago World's Fair.
Ooh.
It's actually getting made into a movie. Leonardo DiCaprio has the rights.
Wait, is that not the one about the serial killer?
That's that too, yeah. It's also about serial killer.
Okay.
Oh, here we go.
Hello, everybody, and welcome.
Turn them up.
Welcome today to the big summer Warhammer preview. My name is Adam Troke. I'm joined by my friend and colleague Eddie Eccles, and it is our delight to host this show.
Yeah, very exciting. We have a big preview today.
There's a lot going on.
Can you increase their
There's a lot of
decibels
stuff.
in
We've got stuff
OBS?
from all sorts of different settings from Warhammer 40,000, Age of Sigmar, some Horus Heresy in the mix there as well. There's a little bit of something for everybody, it's fair to say.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Let's talk about how it's going to work a little bit. If you're new, maybe this is your first Warhammer preview you've joined in. We are your hosts, but we are not alone. We have the excellent Simon Grant sat over there in Question Corner. Simon, what are you doing today?
Hey folks, welcome to the show. I'm going to be fielding questions on behalf of Eddie and Adam. So
That's his whole name. That's it. We weren't in the way.
Please start your question with question in big letters, capital letters at the start of all your comments, and I will do my best to track them, and hopefully we'll get an opportunity later on in the show to ask Eddie and Adam those questions.
Perfect. Thanks, Simon. We're going to be taking some breaks throughout the sort of proceedings to try and field a few of those questions. We have a lot of content to cover off. We think we're going to be here for between an hour and 90 minutes if we go fast. So bear with us and we'll do our best. We're aware the chat is still filling up. There's people flooding in from around the world. So the first thing I'd like to do is throw a question out there, maybe get you involved.
Yeah, you guys can ask us questions as well. Just put question.
I do it every time and I always enjoy the answer. And while you start punching in your coordinates,
and we'll ignore
not too specific, I've got a question for you, Eddie. Done in
God damn it, Polly.
Oh, I'm glad you asked, Adam. Yeah, I've been doing a little bit of Horus Heresy hobby.
Very nice. You said you were going to.
I did, and I did. So I've got some white scars on my table at the moment, got them all sprayed up, and I've started painting a jet bike, but using some of the Horus Heresy transfers on the side, so it looks very nice.
Awesome.
I'm looking forward to getting
Paints
some of
one
those. I've
jetpack
also got
at a
some
time.
Space Wolves.
Must be
bought the
nice.
new, Space Wolf
Psycho
box.
shit.
Like a lot of people,
Oh,
very
yeah.
excited by the new Space Wolf army as well.
Very, even as
It's
a Dark
a
Angels
lovely,
fan, that is
it's a lovely
extremely
box.
tempting.
I think that has brought a lot of people to Fenris, that particular box set.
No.
How about yourself? Have you been doing any
Well,
cool
I'm
Warhammer?
glad you asked. The short answer is yes. I bought myself a new kill team. I went for the Hernkin
nice.
yesterday, and I'm going to have a crack at that. I've not really painted kill team stuff. I've always
Alright,
used things from.
do you
my
want to
main
talk
army.
over this part?
The other thing.
Do we need to wait? Do we need to
only
listen
went
to them
to the
talk
Throne of
about?
Skulls with my good friend Damien O'Byrne, and we brought home a gold medal, which was super
Yeah,
fun
this is
to
what
play
they're
so many
supposed to
games
let
of
us
Middle-earth
do.
strategy
They're
games
supposed to
and
just
so
do
many
like.
of-
You can turn them
stuff.
down. Turn them down
I
for
met a
now.
father and
They're supposed to
son
do, like,
who flew
new
all the way across
stuff.
to join in from the US, and they're now hiking
Should we do their voices?
around the mountains.
Yeah, sure. Let's do their voices. Sure.
You want to be the guy with glasses, and I'll be the other
I'll be
guy?
glasses man.
Actually, I don't want to do this. I don't know. I don't know.
So, Sai, where are people from?
It is
Oh,
me,
all over the
glasses
place.
man.
Wonderful. So we've got folks from
I'm here
Australia,
painting-
Canada, USA,
Oh,
Spain,
I'm gone.
pretty much all over the globe.
Here's
Someone's
Sai.
claiming from Caliban. I'm not sure the truth of that one.
Only the very best among us could possibly come from.
All right, he's wearing Leagues of Votann, so I think you're right about Votann.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Right. So, as I said before, we've got about 90 minutes worth of like wall-to-wall Warhammer content.
Yeah, there's going to be a little bit of a delay.
We should probably look to begin.
Yeah, let's get stuck in, shall we?
Right. So, Raph, punch the first video.
So just before we go in, the new guy, he's a
Oh, look at them doing like weird stuff now.
Bear with, okay?
cool.
You turn them up in OBS. Oh shit.
Oh, cool.
This
All
isn't
right.
fucking Chaos Dwarves.
That's some pretty
Just
cool
two
stuff.
dudes on a road trip.
What an incredible set of reveals for the Leagues of Votann.
Wow, that's cool.
So this is the largest release for the Leagues of Votann since the initial release of the army. This is a huge expansion, all in plastic for that force. There is new heavy infantry. There's some new artillery. There's loads of new, really characterful characters to add to the army. There's some new vehicles, all sorts of stuff. So there's the kind of shot of the full army there.
I'm
but
super
let's take a
digging the
closer
tall
look
robots
at some
with
of the
normal
Yeah.
size legs.
specific models, specific units being added into the force.
Look
We'll
at this
start
guy.
with so the Arcanist Evaluator.
He looks like the
Yeah, so
Doctor
within the Leagues
in,
of Votann, they're not afraid
the
of
fir- in
developing
David
technology
Lynch's
and
Dune.
expanding their understanding. So an Arcanist Evaluator is kind of aside
helmet.
from
No, it's
the ordinary
Heihachi from
kin
Tekken.
within sort of the war bands that operate. He's a member of the science guilds that are responsible for new technologies, and he brings to battle an
That is an
experimental
awesome
weapon.
helmet.
In the
Seriously, I
closing
love that.
phases
the
of
Doctor
development.
from Mega
This
Man.
is a
Yeah, I don't know if I would
two-motor
keep this guy's
inverter.
helmet
So
on or
cool
off.
name.
It's the
Yeah,
only
it's got
time
4
I've
fire
ever
modes,
loved both
and
options.
on the highest one, it literally triggers lethal atomic transformations. What that means is death.
Yeah, so
Well, Dr.
he's
Wily.
taken out his new
Dr. Yeah.
experimental weapon basically to the battlefield to see if it is, as he suspects, powerful enough to melt Space Marines' tanks.
Yeah, the guy
or
from Old
Tyranids
Dude.
monsters,
Thank you,
whatever he
YouTube
happens to
user.
come up against.
Pretty much yes to the
Pretty
above.
much yes to all of the above. He's not part of the official sort of Leagues of Votann military hierarchy, so he doesn't join your units necessarily, but he kind of hangs around in your army next to them,
Yeah.
and he's got kind of lone operative ability if he's near your infantry, that sort of thing. But a very useful, characterful little model to add into your.
This is the
Leagues of
kind of
Votann
like
force. And a
characters we
nice
want
way
in
of kind of
AoS.
showing the,
Little foot characters with a
some of the
giant
kind of
gun.
lore and
Like, why
culture
can't I
of
get a
the
little
army as
foot
well
character
for
with a
Leagues of
giant gun
Votann?
in
Yeah, it's a
AoS?
little bit of a glimpse behind the sort of the curtain, isn't it? And you can see some.
I want a
images
hag
that,
queen with a
that
bazooka.
sort of key into that. He's
With a
fixed
rocket
on his,
launcher.
his weapon. You can almost imagine.
In her bikini, but with a rocket launcher.
The results.
That's a very cool head as well, kind of mad scientist vibe going on.
Yeah, and if you wanted to, there's a separate, a different head that you can have, which is helmeted.
Hi,
or
Adam.
you
Thanks for
just
joining
helmet
us.
safety.
No giant hat reveals yet.
The way to go. Next up, my absolute
we did get
standout
some
favourite. This is
dwarves.
the thing that made me march into Warhammer World yesterday and buy some Leagues of Votann models for myself. The Memnir Strategist. He is an Ironkin. Those of you who are fans of the League of Votann will understand that the Ironkin are
Abominable
essentially-
intelligence.
showing off
well,
their free
not in
handling
their
skills
mind,
on that
but
data slate.
they're artificial
Yeah.
intelligences which they hold an equal position within Votann society. There's a CU unit inside.
Oh, sick. He has Google
and
Maps.
that's sort of within the Iron Dome that is normally his head. The first really
Nice
cool
one,
thing about
Soups.
this model is that you see the little noodly things that are on. In the Imperium, you call them mechadendrites, right?
And there was a
These,
hair on it. Oh, disgusting. Look at that
things
hair.
come out of him.
Fix
Wait,
yourselves,
really? They got a
GW.
hair? Oh my
It's
god.
usually combined
You know,
intelligence of multiple
It's
iron
insider's
essentially.
secret for
And he
people at
uses
home.
that
You
to
don't see those hairs
enormous
half the
effect
time until
on
you've just
strategy
taken the
and
footage.
tactics on the
Yeah.
battlefield
It
by
sucks.
the axis of kin around
You're
him.
taking the footage, you put everything
It
away,
keys
and then
into
you
a
check your
rule as
footage,
well,
and you're
which
like,
is known as yield points, which we'll talk a little bit more about later. And most importantly, he looks amazing.
It's a very, very cool miniature, isn't it? Really characterful. It's, I think also got some spare arms on the front there,
you
which
get
is holding onto
bonus
his
arms.
holding onto his little data pad. He's tapping away on there, giving orders to all the various.
Although
kin
this
and
is a
Legion
rip-off
units
pose.
across
We have the,
battlefield. And his main pair of arms.
How-
he's
do we
used
not
to
already have a
hold
mechanical
in
guy
his
like this?
Contemplative
Yeah.
states, which is the exact pose that I have when I'm considering my movement phase in Warhammer
Exactly.
40,000.
And if you want to dazzle your friends with some knowledge, the array he's got on his back is called a cognitar mantle, and that's where he gets like his extra brain power from. Really sensational. Speaking of Ironkin, these
All right,
here-
these guys are
units
cool.
of
These guys
Ironkin,
are
They are
dope.
called the Steeljacks. 200 mil in one name. Eddie, what's the story?
Yeah, so this is the Ironkin Steeljacks. They are a specialist war, kind of more warrior type of Ironkin. A lot of the Ironkin are fairly sort of helpful. They're kind
These
of
guys
default-
almost
Yeah,
don't
they're
look like
sort
they
of
belong in the
default
setting,
status are sort
right?
of,
These guys
friendly,
almost
affable,
look like
helpers for the Leagues of Votann for the kin. These are a much more warlike
Infinity
programming,
models?
so
Like,
they
I'm
march
into
out
them,
actively
but
into battle, seeking
they almost look
conflict.
like
They
Infinity
are
models
in
or
very
something.
large suits of armor, so they stand kind of almost twice the height of a kin or a League of Votann warrior.
Right? So, right,
and
like,
they
don't
have
these
got some
guys, like,
pretty
almost look
decent
like they're
weaponry
not,
as well.
like-
You can kit them out in a variety of different ways. You can either go.
That's Doom
combat
guy from
leaning,
Doom.
this is an example there.
Doom,
You
right.
can have like concussion fists and bolt guns, or you can go with a ranged option. In game terms, they work a little bit like Wraithguard, I suppose, is the closest approximate. So very durable unit.
The sword makes it
quite
firmly
powerful
40k.
weaponry,
That's fair.
Very good for doing
Some of
things
these
like
other
moving
guys,
onto an
though,
objective and trying to
even
hold onto
more
it,
techie than
and
crisis
fighting off
suits.
enemy counterattacks, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, in real terms, heavily armed, heavily
I think these
armoured,
look awesome.
Extremely dangerous unit.
Honestly, they remind me of
Considering
Master
you're in
Chief
the
as
squad,
well.
as you look
Exactly.
at the
Yeah,
framework,
they give me
crest sort of
vibes
rise
from
above
a lot
his
of
head.
other
There we
IPs.
are in the background. He's got a plasma sword. Guy on the front's got a concussion fist. Great new addition to the Leagues of Votann army, I think it's fair to say. We're not done. There's more.
All right, this was cool. I'm always a big fan of these like diorama type
strong
things.
Energy from that sort of rogue trader era. Do you remember mole mortars for squat
Very
armies?
well, yes.
So these are sort of inverse artillery in that rather than lobbing a shot high above the enemy, they fire those mole shells that you can see down at the bottom deep into the ground. They burrow in on the enemy and emerge in a trench line, in a bunker, and just blow everyone to kingdom come.
Each one of these is a really lovely sort of diorama in their own right as well. So you can see the kin there working with the Iron Kin, loading up the artillery. You can see one of them there with his little scanner, almost directing the mole as it kind of buries underground towards the enemy fortifications. Obviously, it's a powerful piece in game. You've got all sorts of nice kind of ways that this will bolster your Leagues of Votann force, which at the moment maybe doesn't have a huge amount of very long range artillery. And yeah, I think it's a great kit, really.
Awesome.
I'm going to say this is awesome, but probably a dumb concept in the best way. I love it for 40.
Yeah, exactly. It's like exactly what you want to see.
The Capricus Defender. We'll show you the Capricus Carrier in a minute.
Oh look, what the invader should have
either
been.
A sort of attack vehicle.
Right.
Or it's
I feel like I thought they already had this
they've got
ship,
so
but
this
I
is
guess
the-
I'm wrong.
This is the carrier. So
No,
it's a
they don't. They
smaller
have the
gun, it's
bikes.
got,
Right.
Less other weapons on it, and you can see the stowage bag for the crew that will ride in the back. Whichever you take, essentially this is enabling
Nice
the
Bren
Heineken to
gun
get
on
around
top
to B
there.
and hold the ground that they're taking.
Yeah, so it adds a bit of a mobility into your Leagues of Votann force. It carries 5 models, so it works a little bit like the other kind of Leagues of Votann transports, where you pick one of your units, it can split into 2 groups of 5. 5 of them can ride around in one of these. If you've got 2 of the transports, you can obviously ride them around in 2 of the transports. And as you say, Adam, you can choose between either having the transport option, or you can just have all
like
the
the
guns
light
and have
version
a
better.
fast-moving fire support unit.
Yeah, for me this is stunning. This is what made me march off to Warhammer World yesterday and buy the Heineken.
There's some really lovely little touches on
You
this.
said
The
that
stowage
about like
bags are really nice
multiple
in the back.
models now.
I like
Also,
that you can build
how
this
did he
with
know?
2
How did
Iron
he
Kins as
see
well.
it?
So if you want
He's
an Iron Kin
violating
pilot
his
and an Iron
NDA
Kin
by
gunner,
announcing
you
that
can
he
build
saw
like
them
that.
yesterday.
Fans of Iron Kin generally, there is a lot of Iron Kin.
Is he a
It's done
GW
quite well
employee?
with the Votann release.
There's also a new combat patrol for the Leagues of Votann on the way.
All right.
We're all familiar with combat patrols if we're familiar with Warhammer 40,000. If you're new, let me
Zamboni
explain
of
what they
death.
do. It's a fantastic way to start an army.
Cool. This is great. This is a
or
great
to
release for
bolster
this
an
army.
You've already got one.
If you're playing this army, you're super hard right now.
Sorry, when we're talking, can you turn them down a little bit? Sorry, I know it's
yeah.
kind of
In the
annoying.
middle.
Maybe just
it's
mute 'em.
Just wonderful ingredients
you can
to
turn it
bulk
back on
out
and
the
off.
force.
Yeah, there's some
But yeah.
really useful units in there as well. Like, you don't tend to see a League of Votann army that doesn't have all of those units.
Yeah,
in.
there's no wastage there,
So
right?
it's all good stuff. A couple of boxes of these, and then a couple of the new units, and you've got an army
You're
basically.
away. Yeah, absolutely so. Now, on to, for many people's opinion, I expect the main event of this release. This is Buri Aegnirssen. Eddie?
So Buri Aegnirssen is the last survivor of a Leagues of Votann clan, which has been consumed by the encroaching Tyrannid menace. He is known as the Thrice Devoured. A Tyrannid monster has actually eaten this guy, but that wasn't enough to keep him down. He clawed his way out of its gullet, climbed his way back out to safety 3 times, apparently,
Yep.
and now goes across the galaxy, across the kin warbands as a roving Tyrannid killing specialist.
Yeah,
effectively.
absolutely. He's in terms of specialist, he is an absolutely elite combat unit. He's equipped with that Dark Star glaive, which you see there, which is called Bane. He's pure violence in melee form.
I think you're going to get a lot of this guy in armies because his rules are very good. He is he's got a great combat stat line, but he's also a lone operative. So you can imagine this guy advancing either on his own or alongside, kind of
Sorry,
behind
I
your
think if you
forces
get
and
eaten
swooping
once,
in
that's
on the
bad.
big
You
enemy
get eaten
monsters and stuff
twice,
that get forward
it's
and
like,
threaten
okay,
them.
come on.
Yeah,
And then a
and
third
he's
time, like,
more
you're
than
doing
a
something
member,
wrong.
so
That's on
he's a
you.
member
It's on you.
Well, he's the
Yeah.
only member now of an organisation called the Buri Aegnirssen block, which is one of the Leagues of Votann. Literally wiped out down to the very last kin, which is this guy. And so he's so bitter, his whole life is devoted now to just hunting down the Tyrannid menace and supporting other leagues to stop the same thing happening to them. And you see that played out on his model. He's got this sort of belt buckle, which very much looks like he's sort of taken some affectations from the Tyranids. He's got what looks like, we've been having quite a discussion about this, a Tyranid Prime sort of cadaver.
I think it's a
over his
Tyranid
head.
Prime that he's got over the top of his head.
Yeah.
There's a nice little nod in this model as well to there's like the idea at some point that the squats were eaten by the Tyranids.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this guy kind of goes, well, yeah, they were eaten by the Tyranids, but also they clawed their way out again. So
Absolutely.
there is a little bit of truth to that sort of that outdated understanding. Maybe
Yeah,
what
if he gets
happens to that
eating, he gets devastating
Fantastic.
wounds.
And all
Otherwise, he
this
sucks.
obviously will be supported with Codex Leagues of Votann, an all-new Codex for Warhammer 40,000, which contains. I've had quite a while to read this week. It's just full of spankingly good lore. It's got great rules and art.
Spankingly good.
Spankingly?
Obviously.
I know a lot of British
In terms
people,
of
and I
rules,
haven't heard that
there's
one
Too much to go
recently.
into in any real detail here, but a thing to cover would be those yield points, which is the sort of army-wide mechanic.
How
which
come
comes
none of
in-
our Brits use
Absolutely, yeah.
spankingly
So
good?
yield points effectively changes the way your army works over the course of the game,
Right,
and it
I'm gonna
works
turn them down a
in
little
the
bit so
way
I can
that
talk.
the Leagues of
Sorry, I
Votann
know.
approach
Just mute him.
acquisition effectively. So early on in the game,
Yeah, I think that was pretty good. I mean, Votann players, what do you guys think?
Yeah, how are you feeling about this?
That's I don't know. I think the takeaway for me was what they call the steel jacks, the tall robots. Those are super sick.
Tall robots are super cool. Honestly, I mean, like, this is... I'm not playing 40k right now, right? But this army is, like, every time they get a new release, which they've only had one other one, I think, right? Like a small little one model or something. But it's a super cool line. It's gone from being, like, nothing to being one of the coolest lines in 40k in the few years.
All right, let's see. What are they talking about?
total sort of tactical function of your army. You can just go nudge and help you out.
Yeah.
We should show some of the models.
Let's do it, yeah.
So we've got some in front of us. We're very lucky to be allowed to put our paws
Oh, okay,
on
never mind. They're just
the,
showing
metal
models.
miniatures. So there
Yeah,
was a bit of scale comparison.
I don't know. How would you
But,
paint
as you
these,
can see,
Zach?
This is the Arcanist, and then you've got the Memnir.
Um,
They're like normal Votann size.
Yeah, we'll go up here for a second. I think the issue for me
See just how
with
sort of
this army
much bigger,
and painting it is like
the steel jacks are.
you always want to do the 70s sci-fi classic kind of vibes,
Wraithguard is
and it always looks
Yeah, they're about the
good.
same size,
But then
kind
like
of in that ballpark as
then they all look like that.
heavy infantry.
I honestly I think I would probably do yellow and
White.
yellow, white, and maroon,
Yeah, I think that's a good.
or like
solid.
a burgundy. And I'd weather them a lot, and I'd do like a 70s patterning. Look for like classic 70s sci-fi movies and something like that.
Yeah.
I really like this the mole gun or whatever it's
Reverse
called.
mortar.
Yeah, the reverse mortar.
Hey, you can turn it back up a little bit.
get spare shells.
You're on volume control today.
Yeah.
It's just a really thoughtfully designed and very exciting kit. So we should show more though, because this is by no means the end of it.
Absolutely, we've got the Capricus here, so just make some space on the table so we can have a look at this guy. So this is your new vehicle. This is the Defender pattern, which is the gun version. And as you can see there's a little bit of space, not quite enough space for transport on this one, but there is one which is a transport
What's up
vehicle.
with the
I really
mount?
like the iron
How is it
cannon.
mounted?
Actually,
He's got like a tiny little chair.
quite small, yeah, because they wouldn't fit a full-sized kin in there, so they've given them a little tiny iron kin,
Like,
actually perfectly designed.
It doesn't
Yeah,
look like a flight stand. Are they just going to like? It's just a stick now because that's what's stable and it looks
Yeah.
fine still.
Yeah.
There. So it's still kind of kin-sized, but you can have a look on this model.
They
here.
say that this is the coolest guy. I'm less impressed by him, but he's fine.
Yeah, chewed up and spat out so many times that like his arm, bits of his
Yeah.
arm, most of his face, perhaps a kind of unspecified amount of his body.
I did like
was
the bit where they
absorbed
mentioned he's
by
from
origin
the
to
original,
bioacid
you
in the
know,
stomach and
background lore
but
where
still
all the Votann got eaten by Tyranids. So that's
Yeah.
like who he is,
Kin are,
and that's
right? So
great.
they're specially designed by their Votann to be durable, to endure kind of the most hostile conditions, and he's a good example of how that's kind of manifesting.
Yeah, it's really cool, isn't it? So I think we've covered the league pretty thoroughly, right?
Yeah.
Before we move on, we're going to go to the old world next. A couple of sort of housekeeping bits. The first one would be we're going to return to the 41st millennium at the end of the preview. So particularly if you like Kill Team, but also there's some other things for other factions as well. Do hang around if you like Warhammer 40,000. The other thing I would say is that lots of the people who mentioned that they were joining us from around the world, you can interact with our social teams. We have sort of international social teams that manage our various sort of social media places. Here they are. If you want to
Clown Kill Team
in the language which suits you.
Model Reverie, yeah, they're saving the Black Templars for
really
last.
People, they're really engaged and want to sort of make sure that you get to hear about Warhammer in the language that suits you. So,
all right.
Overworld,
Do we think this
here
is
we go.
Kislev? Is this Kislev?
Is it Kislev? No.
Socials as well, so,
It's existing faction updated.
Oh, okay.
right. Time for a little bit of Warhammer.
All right.
Yeah, let's do it.
Turn the volume up.
So, first up, we have brand new units for the Tomb Kings of Khemri. This is a new multi-part plastic kit that makes the Royal Heralds. The easiest way to describe these is that you have a battle standard bearer and you have a new hero / lord. You could make that and call it a Tomb Prince or a Tomb King. I think it's up to you. You get a battle standard, which you can put on either thing. So if you fancy a faster moving battle standard, stick it on the horse guy. If you fancy him like standing around in one of your big regiments of skeleton warriors or tomb guard, then go for the on foot version. There's some options in terms of head things as well. Battle standard bearers are key to Warhammer armies. If you play the old world, you'll know.
Yeah, I love this battle standard. That kind of weird scorpion. Both the paint scheme and the model itself are very cool. As you say, this is multi-part as well.
Okay,
so you can swap and change if you want
this
faster
one's
if you want
boring, right?
chariots
We
or
all are we bored by this?
can
I'm
mix
bored.
I mean, I
by
like
this.
it.
I would imagine there's a fair bit of customizability.
It's
between
solid.
some of
It's
the other
nothing
team
crazy,
bits
but
as
it's
well.
solid.
Not just within this kit itself, but also I think things like the tomb guard, for example. So this isn't the only.
I'm
new
just
faction
saying, if you
coming
saw
from
that guy on a
Khemri, we
'90s
also
box
have
of
the Lich
cereal,
Priests,
you'd be like,
who
"Oh,
are
okay."
Fundamental to the workings, literally, of the Tomb Kings.
Yeah, you absolutely need Lich Priests in your army if you've got a Tomb King's army. Your army only woke up because you had Lich Priests. It's their job to kind of keep the magic flowing that keeps your army marching forward. Again, this is a multi-part kit. There's some lovely options on these. You can see they're perhaps a little bit less dead than some of the other Khemri, but they're still very definitely desiccated. Definitely spent far too long in the desert.
Which Horus Heresy units are going to
I love the
AOS?
vulture.
Not
The
yet. Not yet.
the staff
Yeah,
on it.
absolutely. So thanks for bringing that back. It's a really lovely image of these sort of animated creatures that have sort of come alive through the magic of the rituals. That
I
have
think
taken
you were
place.
saying as well that looks like it's right out of a piece of Warhammer art. Doesn't
Yeah,
it? Like
the mounted one in particular, I think they're both.
Are you yawning?
Yeah. This is boring.
And I mean that as the highest possible compliment. Tomb King veterans might be wondering if that's extra armor on the skeletal steed. It certainly is. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment. But yes, you can have a barded skeletal steed, which I think might be quite useful if you're used to terrible armor saves in your Tomb King's army. I guess we can talk about that now. If we go across to all is a new arcane journal, The War of Cetra's Fury. Cetra, the imperishable, is very, very angry. His lands have been defiled. He feels like he owns everything. And he is launching a full-scale invasion northward into the sort of border region between the Empire and Bretonnia, sort of known as the Vaults. It's also inhabited by some dwarfs, and you've got sort of dispossessed barons and nobles from both the Empire and Bretonnia.
Like, that
And so they
artwork
are
is
forced
cool.
to rally in defense of a full-scale
Well,
invasion
it's okay.
of the undead from Khemri. There are rules for sort of allied forces, playing smaller games in like a timely and interesting fashion. It's just packed, and it's a really cool way of looking at the lore of the old world and how they're sort of explaining the things that took place in this particular part of the Warhammer timeline.
Yeah, it's great to get some new lore for the old world as well. I think.
Yeah,
it's,
absolutely.
The team diving into
Brandon
the
Fraser,
that the world allows them to have.
And see what I mean about the
I like
artwork,
that.
like, sort of the guy in the centre, like it just in this piece, it really just screams the imagery that we saw before. I love it. There's another arcane journal coming, which is equally exciting. Just happens at the other side, quite literally, of the region in the old world known as the old world. This is Dawn of the Storm Dragon, and it features a bold strategic move made by Miao Ying, who's the lady pictured in the centre. She's one of the children of the Dragon Emperor. And
Oh,
she
I didn't even notice the
learns of
picture
the
changed.
chaos invasion which is happening in the north, and is concerned that it's
Oh,
going to
man.
gain too much traction. So loads ships full of Grand Cathayan soldiers and sails to the Empire, sets up an enclave, and helps.
They didn't
to
even make a video
try
for
and
Old
stymie
World.
this chaos invasion. In real terms, That's A, a cool story, and B, there's rules in there for all sorts of things, including the opportunity to have an allied force of Grand Cathay and the Empire of Man.
That's exciting. That's exciting.
That is
We've
really
never had
cool,
anything
yeah.
like that before, really, have we? So
Yeah, so, and I think this is sort of
Chaos is the coolest.
great
Agreed.
example of the really sort of bold and exciting things that the studio team responsible for the Old World are doing. They clearly love the setting. They want to explore it in really rich and vibrant detail.
sounds great.
Absolutely. So, we should throw over to Question Corner.
I mean,
and see
those
if
are cool.
Simon's got any
what have you-
questions for us?
What have you got for us, Simon?
Loads and loads of questions. I think
you guys
the majority
give
of
us
them are
your
focusing
questions.
on the Leagues of Votann. There's loads of shiny new toys coming out there, of course. So the first one is actually about the judgment tokens. Are they still a thing? Obviously, we've got the yield rules, but what about judgment tokens?
Do they give Simon
So,
a rocking chair?
The focus in terms of the army mechanic is those yield points that we've talked
That's
about
my
before.
question.
It's always
Simon,
good
are
when
you in
we
a
get
rocking
question
chair
like,
right
can you
now?
tell me
Was
the
that
really
your
grainy,
call, or
like,
was
granular
that
rule
the
things? Because the
studios?
answer is no. We've got 90 minutes to rail through as much stuff as we can, as fast as we can. We'll cover way more detail about Votann rules and mechanics and all those things.
I want
as we
Melody
move
as a
towards
guest.
it. But you're in for some subtle changes in the way the
Can't
Leagues of Votann work, and it's quite exciting.
Cool. We've got another one, which were the funky
No,
drill
Polly,
shell
but
tokens.
Zach is not
the
passive aggressive. He's just
So I
aggressive.
do have a really short and candid answer for that. You saw them on the little base beside. The kit comes designed for you to have 2 of those. Mine, if
All
I
right.
remember correctly, and don't like.
Let's
sue
turn
me
them down
if
we
I
can
get
talk,
it wrong.
unless we think there's something
You
important
put them down
being
along.
said.
Well, the questions are good, right? Like,
and
Okay.
you can remove one from the game.
I,
to give
I'm
yourself
worried they're
rerolls
going to
and
ask a
rerolls
good
as
question
playing.
that we want.
Yeah, kind of fun. It's like it represents something, and you take it off and you spend it.
Yeah, so the unit is sort of set up so that they have some specialist shells, so that'd be like representing the unit being like, right, we're going to use one of the big ones now. This is the important shell.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
And probably got time for one more, so let's go with how many models can the Capricus carrier transport?
Great question.
It carries 5, so it works a little bit like some of the other Leagues of Votann transports, where you take a unit of, usually come in 10s, you split the unit in half, so 5 of them can go in that. If you've got 2 of the transports, you can carry both the units round in those, or you can leave 5 of them back.
Okay, thank you, Mortal Reverie, for the gifted super chats.
Mortal Reverie is being held captive because they're doing 40k late.
Oh, yeah. Oh, here we go.
Hey!
Death Grand Alliance. These are the Flesh Eater Courts. Many of you will be familiar with them. These are the like foul and abominable cannibal monstrosities who unfortunately have delusions, quite literally, of
I love this cover.
being noble and elegant and chivalric.
Yeah, that red
and
is great.
the truth couldn't be sort of further from that.
Yeah, they absolutely imagine that they are in service to some grand king on perhaps a grand crusade of some sort, or part of a pageant, or a noble feast of some sort, but are in fact horrible, degenerate cannibals, as you say. The new battle tome has all the stuff that you would expect. Lots of new ways to use your army, new magic abilities, new enhancements, changes to some of the way the war scrolls work. So lots of exciting stuff. And perhaps most excitingly, there is a new miniature on the way to accompany them, which is the High Falconer Felgrin. So much like the rest of the Flesh Eater Courts, this guy is under an illusion. His particular delusion is that he is a falconer in charge of noble and wise avian creatures, where in fact he is in charge of a swarm of rabid bats. The model is very characterful.
great.
Like he's got his kind of weird, crazy hat. He's got
You can
kind
see
of
the
Oh, what,
almost
bats
like
can't
the
be,
vestiges
like,
of
majestic?
that
Come
nobility
on,
we
what
were
is
just
that?
I know.
referring to, right? He's got like a very sort of like huntsman-y style hat on
Yep.
and the tattered robes of a person that might be performing that duty.
Falconer.
He's also
He has
got
a
guts
hat
hanging
for
out.
a
It's a
pretty
very
good
fun,
hat, sir.
very fun miniature. I think in
We know all about,
the spinning shot. Maybe
falcon
you can just
hats.
picture it. But there's
Oh,
a
God.
bat that comes with him, which is basically a token that represents something in the game, where he sends one of his falcons off to spy an enemy unit, and that can give you bonuses in games, basically. So these are the kind of spies, the eyes and ears of the Flesh Eater Courts. And if you direct it to an enemy unit, it can give your squires, your kind of ghouls, bonuses against that enemy unit. You can do things like take away their ward save and get better at killing them, basically. So a very useful unit to have in your game, and a very characterful model for your army.
Nice. There's also accompanying this
Look at it.
release for the Flesh Eater Courts, the Charnel Watch. This is a new spearhead, so you can use it straight in games of spearhead, or you can use this to bulk out, or maybe
Sorry,
you can
who's
use this
that
to
character in
bulk
the
out
middle?
Your existing Flesh Eater Courts.
War
army.
Warden.
This is
Oh,
a
down below.
fast-moving, hard-hitting infantry focused.
I don't know. He might be one of the.
spearhead. It's got models that you'll be very familiar with, and the way that they synergize.
Oh yeah, there's the
within this
Offal
game,
Hound. So it's
within
the
Spearhead is really fun. Expect
War Cry.
sort of lightning assault,
Okay.
and
War
then
Cry.
using monsters
Or
sized
Underworlds?
infantry
I
to
forget.
sweep the enemy away.
Yeah, also a great
Thankful.
start to a larger
Yeah.
Age
Yeah,
of Sigmar
absolutely.
army for Flesh Eater Courts. It combos really nicely with the existing Flesh Eater Courts Spearhead. So if
Yeah.
you've got that already, you can add this in, and you've basically got most of an army. Yeah, some really good stuff. A couple of the Cannibal Monkeys in there as well, which are
It's what
always
everybody
a winner.
needs, right?
Who doesn't love that?
There's another battle tome for the sort of death faction, which is the Nighthaunt. Here we have Death Battle Tome Nighthaunt.
Okay.
They're a very popular, iconic faction within the Mortal Realms. They sort of had their place within the second edition of Warhammer Age of Sigmar, and they've really sort of cemented their spot as sort of beloved. This book is like ram-packed with the lore that explains them all, as well as all of the war scrolls and information. that you need.
Ram-packed?
I was talking to an avid Nighthaunt player about
Yeah,
this
spankingly
yesterday,
good.
who was super excited because he's sort of in the know enough to know, for example, that their ward saves are improving across the board, and so he's very excited to try those in games.
Yeah, there's some
What?
significant defensive buffs for the Nighthaunt, certainly, with this battle tome. Generally speaking, you're finding that the units have a bit more health.
want that.
The way that their immunity to rend works has changed a little bit. So generally, their normal saves are a little bit worse, but you can now bolster them with things like all-out defense. And their ward
interesting.
saves are across the board a 5-up or better, which is pretty solid.
Yeah, perfect.
Oof.
But let's get on to the model, which is
Oh,
brand new
cool.
coming out with this release, which is the Lord Vitriolic. This is a very disturbing creature. In life, it was something like a poisoner or a
Very
maker
disturbing.
of
Make oil
cartoon.
yeah,
It's short,
fake
dude.
potions
Yeah,
and
this is
curatives
awesome.
who deceived
This is
people
cool.
and sort of, let them down or led them to ruin. And Nagash is able to claim his soul because of his sort of malpractices, evil deeds, and has reformed him into this horrific
Guys,
Lord
look at
Vitriolic
GW's
with,
finger
backward
technology.
jointed
Look at that.
arms
Look
on
at that
top of
top
his
vial.
spine. He's
Crazy.
horrible. But
Is he doing
really
a?
fun in the
He's
game.
doing a shocker.
Yeah, so he's got some very fun rules. So basically, you can see his rack of potions on his back there. And the way that that manifests in games is you can create specialist potions and throw them at enemy units. And you've got two options on how you do that. You can either just chuck a bunch of random potions at the enemy and roll some random things to see what happens to them, or you can concoct a
fun.
very specific potion to do a specific job.
He's making
and the
lean.
effects of those can range from things like doing harm to the enemy unit,
Nobody
and
outside
taking
of
away
the-
some of their advantages, all the way through to things like stripping ward
East
saves
Bay
from
knows
enemies.
what
Yeah,
lean
that,
is.
that one looks
It's
pretty
a
appealing.
really good
What is it,
problem-solving
sorry?
unit. So you can go, right,
codeine
what enemy
and
am I facing? What I'd really like against this
Codeine and
is
spray,
this specific
right?
bonus, or
Yeah,
this
codeine
debuff
and spray.
to the enemy unit, or just to do some damage. So I think we're going to see a lot of this guy in Nighthaunt armies.
Clean is from the south.
And
Look at Zach.
as
You're
with the Flesh
Oh,
Eater Courts,
okay.
there is a
Cultural-
new spearhead for the Nighthaunt.
Miss-
Lean
This
is
the first
everywhere.
Shackle Horde.
Lean is everywhere.
All the ghosts all the time, right? An absolutely brilliant box loaded with everything you'd want to.
Oh,
either kickstart an
everybody's
army,
looking for Dread
reinforce
Scythe
an army,
Heritance.
or
Here you
play
go,
games of
everybody.
Space.
You can get Dread Scythe Heritance now.
Yep, it's very cool. And obviously,
That's a
it's
great
way
box,
to
by the
start
way.
a new Nighthaunt army.
Yeah, absolutely. Those
Beef
things
diet
were
for
cool,
nothing.
but there's a lot of people here who have been holding onto their hats really patiently, hoping that we maybe, show them something they've never ever seen before.
Uh-oh.
That would certainly be cool.
Well, why don't we start with this?
More fun. Oh,
shit.
fuck. Yes, look at this.
Wow, these are fucking sick. Cannon called it.
Oh, look at that giant bull.
What an incredible
Hell yeah.
reveal. Eddie, I know you're super excited.
I am very excited. This might be my new
finally
Age of Sigmar
did
army.
it.
These are the Hellmiths of Hashut. These are effectively the reincarnation of the Chaos Dwarf concept for Warhammer Age of Sigmar, an entirely redesigned and brand new army, coming out first in an army set, arriving alongside its new battle tome. The army set also serves as the spearhead
boy.
force for
Dude,
the
look at that.
Hellmiths of
What?
Hashut.
Look at
These
this
models
thing.
are phenomenally cool. The rules are great. The lore is great. I love absolutely everything about them. Let's dive into the miniatures.
I
and,
think the first thing I
get
want to say
excited.
is let's talk about like why they are these. When the time of chaos happened in the mortal realms, the Duardin, they retreated. They survived in their holds, or they took to the skies, or whatever.
not these guys.
But not
these
so
guys.
the Zardron, the Chaos Duardin, who would become known as the Hellmiths of Hashut. They instead turned to Hashut, an ancient and terrible Duardin deity who taught them the ways of hellsmithing.
Yeah.
So, and their whole culture is based around Hashut, the Bullfather, and we're going to see that
Hellmiths of Hashut, only like 7% off.
Let's dive into the first thing that appears in this new army set. These are the Infernal Cohort with Hashutite spears. Say that fast if you can. They are the core unit.
Can you move
for the
our
Hellsmiths
bodies,
of Hashut.
our faces? I think the name
They
is...
are an elite combat unit straight off the bat. These are very dangerous to Duardin indeed. And the first thing to observe is those Hashutite spears. Each of them's got like a glowing orb in it that contains imprisoned, ground down, reconstituted demon essence, because that's how they roll.
So the demon legions that invaded the various Duardin holds during
look at the goblin
Chaos,
top right.
Some of them took over the holds, but where the Hellmiths of Hashut dwelled, they instead trapped those demon legions and decided to weaponize them into a fuel to power their war machines, their weapons, and their technology. So that green glow, as you say, is ground up demon juice that is powering the weapons of the Hellsmiths.
Yeah, it's so cool. Things to talk about within this unit. Obviously, you've got like a unit champion. You see, you've got a musician. Which is like this weird combination of the bare-chested Duardin and a Hobgrot carrying a massive gong on its back, and obviously a standard bearer. It's a two-for kit. That's like internalism for this kit makes two different types of units.
Oh, I like these swords.
And so here you have the
swords
Hashutite
are
blades,
great.
basically shorter ways of killing people. They have different profiles within the game.
Yeah, both very useful. The spears generally are your slightly more defensive thing, so you get bonuses against the enemy that's charging you, against cavalry. The swords are the slightly more offensive option, where you get bonuses for fighting into enemy infantry and taking the fight to the enemy. But both effectively heavily armoured elite infantry.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, this guy.
And
Dude,
you paint
look at the
different colours.
lobster
The studio team
red.
done a lovely job.
Yeah.
The banner in the middle just is a really interesting nod to sort of the Zardron
Wow.
culture, which is, that's a ziggurat in the middle of that banner, right, with the Bullfather's rune above. They live in ziggurat cities, and each one is ruled by a war despot. As if by magic, here is the war despot.
Oh, I thought you planned the whole thing.
This is my favourite model
these
within
look
this.
amazing.
It's a great
army set.
hat.
It might be
It's a
my
great hat.
my favourite of the Hellsmiths.
He's got a little monster face.
It's just so good. Huge hat, great big spikes. He's carrying an enormous warglaive, which is glowing. See the runes.
I was
at
actually going to say the
top
hats are a
glowing
little
with this
sedate.
sort of, eldritch
I thought they'd be
power.
bigger. They're great, but...
Yeah.
The war despots, they have to rule through a mixture of sort of violence and also through just ensuring that everybody around them knows that they are the nastiest, toughest of all of the
These look like a
Hellsmiths.
pain in
they
the
are
ass to paint.
dominant.
Dude,
Like
no
any
kidding.
Duardin, they couldn't demand the loyalty of their followers unless they were able to lead from the front, basically. So they're not cowardly, but they certainly are
Weapons do look kind of
diabolical schemers,
necrony,
sort of thing.
actually.
So they will
it's
lead their
yeah,
armies
for sure.
into battle proudly, but certainly not go for a fair
And their
fight.
whole reason for being as an entire culture is it's just like weaponized greed. They plunder and take from the land, and they give nothing back. If they don't want it, they destroy it. They are like cruel in the extreme, because that's how they survived the time of chaos.
Yeah, they don't see themselves as corrupted through that. That's as an
No.
interesting
There's
kind of
there's no physical side effects at all to what they've gone through.
An interesting sub-point. They see themselves as almost the paragons of purest order, right?
Yeah.
So they've taken the assault of chaos and they've ground it down and created like order from chaos. But in the mortal
Interesting.
realms, they're paving over the
Wait,
natural
is this
order
an order
and
faction?
putting up the monuments to Hashut and the great ziggurats that power their
I think it's a
industry.
chaos
Absolutely.
faction.
Also within this spearhead is just this incredible centerpiece model, the Dominator engine. It's another kit that makes two things. So here you can see the immolation cannons. This is a enormous
Oh wow!
I like this one more.
metal creation which is animated and powered by this demon energy
Bane
roiling
maces.
inside it. Have a look at the sort of brazier in its belly. You can see the demonic eyes peering out as like the demonic souls within a torture.
I love the flames on these things. That
Power.
kind of like green into purple fire is such a beautiful sort of aesthetic. This is both an incredibly cool miniature, which I think I'm looking forward to see what painters do with this, because the heavy metal one is wonderful, but I think once this goes out into the wild and you've got
You're going to see incredible interpretation.
Yeah, 1,000 painters painting this. It's going to be amazing. I can imagine this in beautiful non-metallics. In game, this thing is an absolute juggernaut, right? So it has a 2-up save, armor save, which in Age of Sigmar is almost unheard of. It has loads of wounds. It hits really hard. bombard. The combat
You don't
version
say.
can mulch entire units. The shooting version is what you want if you want to wade into the middle of an enemy army and just set the whole thing on fire. Like a lot of the stuff in the Hellmiths army, their kind of
That's
army
exactly
mechanic
what I like doing.
allows you to harness a demon power on specific units, so you can bolster the power of it.
I mean, the gun one
these
is cool
particularly
too.
devastating.
Dude, yeah.
Fantastic. And we're still not done.
We finally
Also
got dreadnoughts,
within
everyone.
The Spearhead, you'll find this. This is the Tormentor Bombard. The Chaos Dwarfs of old, if you cast your mind back, if you're old enough like me, to the world that was, the Chaos Dwarfs were renowned for devastating artillery, particularly that lobbed things far across the battlefield, and that concept has been reimagined for the Mortal Realms with this just beautiful Tormentor Bombard, raw demonic power hurled high into the air to come crashing down upon the enemy. It's deadly in the game.
This is 10 out of 10
This
for
is
me.
the
This is great.
war machine you use.
This is a great, yeah.
Being advanced on by multiple enemy units, so you can fire at a single enemy unit, and the units nearby also take damage. That's how devastating this is. Very long range.
Still
I think
wanna
it's 30
see
inches, which again is
Bull
is
Centaur
very,
cavalry.
very good in Age of Sigmar.
I mean, it's a
think
pretty,
the Hellmiths
it's a
of
pretty
Hashut,
modest
between this and some
release
of their
if this
other
is
units,
just the box so far,
have claimed
which
to
means
be
there's
one of the
room
most
to go,
devastating
right?
shooting
There's
armies
places
in the
to
Mortal
go.
Realms.
Well, let's talk a bit more about that, because I think we have the Death Shrieker rocket battery. Brilliant for just like blowing up the enemy's big impressive things, right?
Yeah, so this is a monster killer, right? So where your other war machine is the thing to take out blocks of enemy infantry and kind of massed formations, this is your... They have one big monster that I want to be dead. You can fire this at them, and this, with a fair, with decent rolls, will take out a monster in a single volley.
You're
which is
firing
pretty good.
essentially a demon energy imbued bolt the size of 2 Dwarden.
Those little goblins
sort of
there.
head to toe. Yeah, it's grim. This launch set also includes a battle tome. It also includes all of the war scroll cards that you would want to have with your collection. It's the perfect jumping on point for an all-new Hellmiths of Hashut army.
But that's not it.
But that's not it.
Uh-oh.
Why don't we show you some more?
Holy fuck, dude, they are not meant. Oh, fuck!
Yeah,
Yes!
this is Saturn.
There it is.
Oh, wowie wow.
If the launch box wasn't awesome enough, they will be followed shortly thereafter with all of those incredible models that you just saw, rounding out the force into a really substantial and impressive Warhammer Age of Sigmar army.
Yeah, immediately out of the gate, you have almost
Hell
a
yeah.
full army offer, basically, of stuff. And we start off with one of the classic units of Warhammer returning. Bull Centaurs have been part of Warhammer for, I think, almost 35 years, something like that.
I remember being charged by these
yes.
when I was like 13 or
In
14.
the classic red with green bases back it was in the day. But
Wow.
this is a heavy
These guys
cavalry
look
unit.
amazing.
They are basically the experts.
I'm
at
so glad I'm
riding
not
down
painting
enemy
these.
forces and crushing them under their hooves. They hit very hard. They're well armored. These are the sort of manifestation of the power of Hashut
absolutely.
in kind of form. The Duardin here have going
I
to
bet.
be more alike to their ancient ancestor god.
Yeah, absolutely. You said a thing to me earlier that I thought was really striking, which is Hashut's whole thing is like trampling the mortal realms underfoot,
Yeah.
right? He's the Dwarden gods sort of inherited a different realm, and
Yeah,
he
so-
gets stuck with
No,
the realm.
Skaven
So
are
there's
the new
loads
Beastmen.
of really great lore
Moral.
in the new battle tome, and one of the things that comes out is the idea that there were the ancestor gods of the Duardin, and Hashut was almost like one of them, right? He was like one of the pantheon, and he was given the realm of beasts, and he sort of felt that was almost like an insult, right? Like, I don't want the realm of beasts. So rather than trying to kind of be harmonious,
Yeah,
he
you're fine,
decided
though.
to just trample it flat. So all of his incarnation of beast power is in the form of trampling, in the form of kind of harnessing and subjugating nature.
Yeah, so let's look at the another sort of variation that this kit enables you to make, which are the Anointed Sentinels. These are the most devoted towards Hashut of the Hellmiths. They guard his holy places, whatever a holy place for the Bull Father Hashut might look like. So they're much more defensive than the other Bull Centaurs, although by no means a passive unit. They're just really great at counter-punching. And when you consider how much of the force might be standing back and raining death on the enemy, very useful in their own right. You also get like a little interesting nod to that Hashutite culture sort of breathed into it through these.
Yeah, I love those miniatures. They might be my favourite in the range, those particular sculpts.
They also key into that sort of classic imagery that we're used to from before, as does the next unit. He says, seamlessly segueing in. We'll see. So here's some variations, but we have the Infernal Razors. Now,
Actually, Saray,
these have got blunderbusses.
I'm talking to you in Discord right now.
If you
Can you hear me?
long enough in the beard, you might remember Chaos Dwarf blunderbusses from yesteryear.
The absolute
Oh,
terror of Warhammer Fantasy 6th edition, I think.
Yeah, it was diabolical. And these are a very dangerous shooting unit in their own right. Again, they're harnessing that sort of demonic power to operate their weapons. There's no gunpowder necessary here. And the kit makes two options. So you have those and you have the flame hurlers, which... I mean, they hurl flames. There's not much more explanation particularly required.
Yeah, two really powerful units. The blunderbusses, not much to choose between them really. They both do a great job. The blunderbusses have got a little bit more range on them.
Yeah, these guys are
the flame hurlers
so
can fire
freaking
while
cool.
you're in combat, which is really handy. So
These guys are
even if the enemy
creepy,
manages to
actually.
reach you, you can still sort of set them on fire. But the thing that really makes them is that through the army rule mechanic, you can power them up and power up the demonic energy inside the guns, which basically increases the rend on the guns. You can get these things up to rend 3, doing multiple damage, which is absolutely horrific. So if the enemy is like charging your big unit of Infernal Razors, and you get like a decent round of shooting against it, you can wipe out things like heavy cavalry and whole units of armored infantry and stuff like that.
Yeah,
they are very, very good.
Yeah. Now everything we're
Full
showing you
music
is quite
video.
elite and high value.
Get ready for the other end of
Yeah,
the
yeah,
spectrum.
exactly.
Yeah.
But what if you want some chaff to
Oh,
hurl
fuck yeah!
the wheels of the enemy, so to speak? Good news. There is a
That's exactly
genial
yourself in Discord.
relationship between the Hellmiths of Hashut and the Hobgrots, who sort of bolster their ranks. Hobgrots are also really into doing awful things and desecrating the world, and so they exist as almost like a vassal state within the Zardron culture. In exchange for better weapons than they could like forage for themselves, they get to join the army and whack stuff.
How do you feel about these guys,
They
Saray?
fill a really interesting niche. And
Good.
They are fast
Hold on, I gotta meet you in Discord.
Scout, right?
They absolutely can. So the way these guys are going to fit into your army, most of your forces are gonna
I'm
be
feeling great.
very good at
So
shooting,
I don't want to talk over
but
them too
relatively
much,
slow.
but
so you're going to be moving on to the objectives late game.
you know,
but these
we
can
were
scout
kind of
space,
wondering
so you
if
can
for
push them
Chaos
forward
Dwarfs
early in
if
the
they
game,
would do
grab those
like a
objectives,
new
just
take
get
on them,
under
or
the
if they
feet
would
of
just stick
enemy
to the
units.
old stuff like they
will
did with Skaven.
absolutely
It
be
looks like
used
they
for
just
things
stuck with
like
the old
trying to
designs
take
and
a
just
charge from
Mostly,
something,
yeah.
set
Mostly.
all your other units
And
up for
honestly, I'm
a
perfectly
round
fine with it.
shooting,
These look-
or to charge
everything
from
has looked
Centaurs or
amazing.
something like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you will absolutely want some of these in your force. We've obviously seen Hobgrots before in the kind of Cruel Boys force, but these are armoured and equipped by the Hellmiths themselves. So they've got slightly better armour, maybe than the
Yeah,
ones that don't
none of
have
that
them.
sort of eldritch power in the weapons, though. Not for these guys.
Oh no, they don't get to play with any of the cool demon stuff.
So let's look at some of the extra sort of heroes that join the faction. This is the Demon Smith.
I love the
They're
way
the
they've
ones
painted
who
the
do the
spire.
hellsmithing, I suppose it's fair to say. And you can see in this model there's some real sort of hints as to who he is. Obviously a wizard. He's got that demonic power sort of coming out of his hand. He's got his tome looks
yeah,
like it's
so
like
cool.
etched in. I don't know what
Like
stone that is.
Obsidian Jade. or
Yeah,
something like that,
exactly.
isn't it? Yeah.
With like vile runes. I think his lectern is animated. In a nutshell, they
How
are.
good is that paint scheme though?
It's
Whoever painted that in the heavy metal team, well done.
Yeah.
Well done,
it's,
guys.
It's just stunning. They fill a particular function because they're the ones that enable all of the sort of the hellsmithing. to
Yeah,
take
they
place.
allow the kind of army to work. In game terms, they do a particularly useful thing, as well as being a wizard, which is obviously great. They can heal your war machines as well. So if you've got any of those big infernal engines, or you've got any of your cannons that have been damaged, they can kind of go over and put the power back into them, sort of thing.
Yeah, this kit has another option in it. It also makes an Ashen Elder. We showed
Oh,
you the
this
Anointed
guy's super
Centaurs, who are the ones who guard the holy sites. This is the person doing the rituals inside the holy sites. And you can see
Oh,
that
his
petrification
faces.
has started to happen to his skin. The older
Yeah.
a Hellsmith gets, the more they start to become like stone. Their skin cracks. If they're very powerful, if they have the right magics available,
You can hold
to
it
them,
at
they
bay
can-
a little bit.
yeah, absolutely.
Maybe.
But doom is upon them. There's a couple of really interesting things. I like his staff. I'm just going to eulogise about how beautiful it is that the smoke makes it look like a beard. But you had a fascinating fact about the hammer.
Yeah, so there's lots of things that are really fun about this miniature, but if we go for hammer particularly, there's not a lot of hammers in the Hellmiths of Hashut, and one of the reasons is that hammers are actually seen as a slightly profane symbol to the Hellmiths because they remind them of the other dwarven ancestor gods, which really like hammers. But this particular hammer is blessed in the blood of other Duardin priests. So he would have like found a runesmith or something, or one of the
that makes it
Caradron
alright
priests
then.
or something,
Yeah.
and then slain them in a sacrifice and blessed the hammer in that blood. So that's why he's the one with the hammer when no other
So
Hellsmith
if
seems
you're
to have
a
them.
Fire Slayer player or a Caradron Overlord
they hate
player,
this guy.
like,
Yeah.
pick on this guy the most, right?
The Caradrons and the Fire Slayers really do not get on with the Hellsmiths. Like there is a lot. They've got beef, basically.
Yeah, absolutely so. There's also another character we should talk about. This is Uraki.
wow.
Speaking of beef.
Demonsmith. Back in that ancient time when the Hellsmiths needed to learn to survive, he learned the secrets of this demon smithing from Hashut. He is truly ancient and abominably powerful. You can see how that manifests his the petrification on the back, like deep trenches of like rock starting to form out of his flesh, horns erupting from his skull. He's mounted on an enormous infernal.
I mean, he's basically
like infernal Taurus.
Yeah,
just
like a chaos
centerpiece
lord.
written all over him. Incredible spot within the lore. Wonderful.
It'd be cool if Chaos
Very,
had a
very
giant
cool.
flying
It's
thing
a
like this.
2-for-1 kit as well, which is really cool. It also makes your Demon Smith on Infernal Taurus. There's a bunch of options on this kit as well, which is amazing. So I can't wait to see what painters do with this kit particularly, because it is just asking for a beautiful color scheme. You can imagine this in like beautiful non-metallics or metallics or glowing runes or
the glowing,
kind of petrified rock or
I know how I'm
something else.
painting this guy already.
Again, that kind of manifestation of Hashut as never deciding to use the natural materials, right? It's always going to be industrial in some way, or made out of iron or metal or stone or something like that.
And the only wood on the base is like burnt
to cinder.
it's
Yeah,
so
you
good.
can imagine him walking through a forest of just like that.
Yeah, should we take a look at some of the models in the flesh? We've got them here in the room with us, and we can give you
I've
some
got
sort of a sense
ourselves
of
a
their
little
forms.
lineup
Yeah, look
from
at this.
there. Look at that.
It's looking good. Here is my personal favourite. You have the War Despot. You can see he's a very chunky looking Duardin. If I stick this Infernal Razor next to him, you get a sense of, sorry, I'm just making your life harder with the camera there, perfect. You can see like bigger in stature, more powerful. Moving along, you have the Demon Smith and the Ashen Elder.
No, hot pink is for our Slanesh army. I think I want to do these bright green or yellow.
Just perfect for, subverting to your will and getting
The
through your
same,
daily work.
just
Either of
for
those
kind
would
of
be
scale
cool.
purposes, that's the same size, more or less, as the Hobgrets that currently exist in the Cruel Boys range. So you
Maybe
get
some
an idea
pink fire.
of the size. Much larger. We have the Bull Centaur there, so you can see that the power of Hashut sort of coursing through that guy. This is a fairly large cavalry miniature there. It's like on a scale with some of the kind of I guess like Agrodon sort of size, that kind of.
He's big to say the least, but not as big as. Terrible segue. Here we go. Just
even beefier. you
Yeah,
could say.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So
this is such a cool model. I think you can have a few of these in your army as well. There's a few different
He's
options.
less
for kind of
big than I
heads
thought,
and,
actually.
things, so I certainly expect to see a few of these making their way into the army.
let's bring in at least one of the artillery.
Yeah,
pieces.
let's get one
about
of
what I
those.
expected.
Right, so
to the main event.
It's like a small dreadnought size.
Nice squeeze some of these.
I mean,
run
that's
out of
pretty
space.
big, dude.
There's too much stuff in this release. It doesn't all fit on the table.
Yeah, I guess.
Anybody will be complaining.
Smaller than Cow Mountain, yes.
There we go. So you can see the two war machines.
Again,
See,
these
they're
are
on
these
bigger
have got, like,
bases than
really
he
lovely
is.
little dioramas on the back. So
Yeah.
you've got multiple characters sort of with different roles across the artillery piece, like
Yeah, absolutely.
funneling the demonic power into the engine or stoking the furnace and that sort of thing. A little bit like the.
Yeah,
Legion
I like the
Votann
cannon
artillery we saw
more.
Before. These are just like wonderful. Little
Oh, I like
pieces
the
of
Yeah,
rockets
but let's
too,
bring in
though.
the
They're
Reptar,
both
shall
cool.
we?
Yeah, he's the big guy. Here he is.
Round this all out.
So, I mean, this is it's a fairly big model.
Towers
Holy shit, that thing's
above even
huge.
The Dominator engine.
There we go.
Just exceptional. There'll be loads more pictures of this on warhammercommunity.com, and you can see it all in more detail. There's probably some bits and pieces of information that we left out. We need to move on.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
think
I bet.
that was
Wowie wow.
Before I do, one more thing.
Yeah.
I'm aware that
Looks
lots
short,
of people in the
short.
chat might be keen to know about Warcry and whether or not Warcry is relevant here. The Warhammer Studio team are going to publish rules for using Hellmiths of Hashut for Warcry when they release.
Yep.
So keep your eyes peeled on the Warhammer community website. There'll be a free download that lets you try out some of the Hellmith models in Warcry in your games.
Yeah, so not only will there be a full new army for Warhammer Age of Sigmar, they will also feature as an entire new faction in Warcry as well.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
also,
Yes, it would be nice if we segued seamlessly into the Warhammer Underworlds. So welcome to Spikewood. This is an expansion for Warhammer Underworlds. It's the scene is essentially you're in the Spikewood. You have a Hellmiths of Hashut warband fighting against the Carnothi. So it really is industry versus nature.
Yeah, there's a strong rivalry in the Mortal Realms between the Hellsmiths, who are all about, like, as we say, trampling nature underfoot, and the Sylvaneth, who are all about protecting nature, and the Carnothi are a particularly kind of warlike aspect of that, following the kind of absent hunter god Kurnoth. So they will defend the wild places of the Mortal Realms.
Yeah, so here you can see the two warbands. So this is an expansion, as we say, for Emberguard, and you have the Hellsmiths. You have the Carnothi. The Blood of the Bull is the Hellsmiths unit. Bottom left-hand corner, you have a War Despot. Her army advancing into the Spikewood has suffered a strategic reversal, so she's regrouped with her sort of remaining warriors, her inner circle, and she's waiting on reinforcements before she can raise the place to the ground. So she finds herself contesting it, obviously, against the other warband.
Yeah, and you've got some great archetypes in the mix there as well. I particularly like the Hobgrot.
He deserves a call out, doesn't he?
He does, because if you've been playing Warhammer for a very long time, you may remember Hobgoblins from Warhammer Fantasy Battle, and there was a unit called Throat Cutters, I think it was, or Throat Slitters. He is basically a homage to those.
It's really lovely.
Which is really lovely to see.
Yeah, they've got their rules reflect that sort of plunder, take what you want, decimate the landscape just for the joy of it sort of mentality. The other warband in this set is, he says, well, there we go, Kurnoth's Herald.
Yeah, Kurnoth.
There's three of them in the kit. They make these Carnothi. The thing to point out with them in terms of like their rules and how they play is that they're very defensive, because they're holding what they've got. They're not interested in stealing other people's stuff. They just want to protect their woods.
These look
so
great.
while they're in their own area of the board.
I mean, we've been wanting Kurnoth for a long time.
Sign of things to come, maybe, for...
They're better, so they're better at defending their own
Slanesh?
objectives.
It's quite an interesting warband then, because they're quite a fast warband, and usually you expect that to be quite aggressive, but your bonuses are for defensive play.
Yeah, so redeploying,
like
fighting in
deer,
different areas in your own area.
I love these miniatures. I think we've seen Carnothi in Underworlds before, and this is a kind of expansion of that, but I think this is a phenomenally cool looking warband.
I looked at them too long, and I'm really disturbed by their gemstones glowing
You've said
in their
that. You don't like the glowing belly buttons.
Something about it, man.
I dig it. I'm here for
treasure
glowing belly
trolls.
So there we go. Awesome stuff also for Warhammer Underworlds. What an awesome set of releases for Warhammer Age of Sigmar.
And 10 years of Warhammer.
That's a really fair
well.
point. Yeah,
Underwear.
10 years ago this month, we saw the arrival of the Mortal Realms, the birth of Warhammer Age of Sigmar.
Saray, how do you feel about all
sort
this?
of showing over
dude,
the
10 out of 10 for me. That whole opening range is sick.
A long time to get here, isn't it? They are only movement.
I'm huge on the Bull Centaurs. Both variants, super cool. Basic infantry looks great. And the big models are crazy. Nothing looks bad. It all looks amazing.
Yeah.
All right. What are they? They're releasing some new Underworld boxes. These are great deals, by the way. I don't know if anyone uses these, but they're great if you just want to pick up some stand-in characters. So, like, I picked up the Underworlds one that had Chaos in it, and I just used the I used one as a wizard. I used because one's a wizard, one's a champion. You know, one's you could probably use as a lord. So like you can if you have multiple armies and those boxes have crossover, you can use them to just proxy or kit bash models.
Yeah, they are
This
great.
counts as.
I have a ton of them for my deep kit and my daughters. Yeah, they're great for.
Yeah,
Not an ad.
not an ad, but
It is an ad, actually.
We are now at the end of the Mortal Realms.
it would be a good.
all right. What's next? Bozos.
Yeah, there's loads. People are very, very excited to hear about the Hellsmiths joining Warcry. That'd be really cool.
Fantastic. We're really pleased because we want them to be able to play with them and enjoy it.
Yeah, and of course the range is stunning, so people are super pumped for
Imagine.
that.
No, they have to show
So
Black Templars.
There's a bit of confusion about the Grand Alliance that they come from. So presumably they come from the Chaos Grand Alliance, and if so, how do they fit in with the rest of the Chaos?
Yeah, so I can take that one. So the Hellmiths of Hashut have a slightly interesting relationship with several factions in the Mortal Realms. They are definitely in the Chaos Grand Alliance. So despite what they themselves believe, they probably are corrupted by chaos at least a little bit.
Okay.
You don't get to play with that much demon
No,
power.
I mean you
nothing,
have tusks growing out of your face and horns growing out,
and you're turning to stone.
yeah, I mean something's got a little bit demonic there. But they would consider themselves as kind of champions of order, but they are in the Chaos Grand Alliance. They also trade with the various forces of chaos, so perhaps chaos warlords and things would go to their ziggurats and be served with like weapons that they forged in exchange for bounty that is collected across the realms. They also have a kind of symbiotic relationship with the Hobgrots and have traded with like the Cruel Boys and things like that. But they are Chaos Grand Alliance.
Nice. So how does
They still have Legion Imperialis, everyone.
Really
We're gonna have to sit through our vegetables of Legion
does
Imperialis.
not play well with others as a
Before we get to
recurring
dessert.
theme, really.
So he is part of the pantheon of the Dwarven gods, right? But he feels ostracized. They understandably want to ostracize him. So the Hellmiths kind of vilely resent the other Dwarven gods. It's a very fractious relationship, which is why there's such vitriol between them. Great questions. Thank you very much. We need to go to our next setting, which we will do by moving to the timeline of the Horus Heresy.
Let's do it.
So there are a multitude of great releases coming if you play Legions Imperialis. It's all tanks.
Eat your fucking vegetables,
So if you're a
everyone. So many
treadhead,
tanks.
settle
So
in,
many tanks.
and we'll take you on a tour.
Do you guys think there's another little tank behind our screen?
plastic kits that make some really interesting additions to your army. On screen now you can see the Whirlwind and Scorpius set. It's 8 of those, 4 of each. And so
Eddie,
if you want
they
to
did
just range
Votann
them
earlier,
and
but they're going to do
close
40k
them
at the
out,
end
they
as
cover.
well.
This really is a wonderful way to do it. Built on that famous Rhino chassis, as is the Vindicator Siege Tank Squadron. Essentially, what's the biggest gun you can stick on a Rhino? Oh, it appears to be a gun with a breech
What
big
if
enough
I
to
want?
stuff a
I
whole
want an
Space
even
Marine in
bigger
it.
gun, though, Adam. I want a bigger gun.
You want to do a heavier siege
I want a
than
heavier
that.
siege gun than that.
Well, I've got some very good news
Oh, that's
for
it.
you.
That's exactly it.
The Typhon Heavy Siege Tank Squadron is on the way. It's even bigger and more dangerous than the Vindicator. And
I mean, listen,
you
if
get
you
like a
love
nice
this
guy with
game,
a
they're
flamer, just
rolling
warming
out
things
some
up
good
and
support
making
for
sure
it.
that
Let's not
everything
kid
goes
ourselves.
Is he
according to
contributing?
plan.
I think a lot of us didn't think
by the
this
time
game
you
would
get
even
shot by the
last.
police gun, how much of a flamethrower do you really
I
need?
imagine he's just like baking off what's left, you know,
Maybe,
like drive
yeah,
through and he's
maybe.
like, you're getting some and you're getting some. If you want to blow things up from further away, maybe there's a Titan Squadron that offends you, then you could do a lot worse than the Cerberus Heavy Tank Destroyer Squadron. These are
Yeah, you're
firing
just gonna lose
turbo
all these
lasers.
pieces.
That guy's
You're just
offering
gonna
you a
lose
fist
this
bump.
game.
Aeronautica
It's a
died for
wonderful
this.
time to be
I
driving
know,
tanks over the
Melody.
enemy.
That is
Some
actually
debate in the
sad.
office as to whether
Imperialis.
it's a heavy tank destroyer or a heavy tank destroyer.
Yeah, exactly. We've had some debate
Let us
on
know
that.
in the chat which one you think
Yeah,
it is.
do you think it's a heavy tank for destroying or a tank for destroying heavy things? Answers
Possibly
in the chat.
both. Possibly both.
The heaviest of all of the tanks,
Mastodon.
it's so heavy, it's super heavy, is the Mastodon Assault Transport. What if you want to just pack Space Marines into a tank, drive it across the battlefield, open your gates, and charge into an enemy stronghold, having leveled the walls with a melter array?
Do you think that's
then
bigger
this
or
is the way
smaller
for
than
you
the
to do so.
Votann
It's even got its
ATV?
own anti-aircraft
Smaller,
system on the
for
top,
sure.
and the pilot of that is offering you a crisp
Well,
fist bump as well. I
think.
imagine he gets on great with the other guy.
It's sort of a 30,000
Do you think it's
equivalent.
bigger or
of a siege tower,
smaller
isn't
I
than
love
That
it.
kind of
The,
vibe.
Uda
the design
Talk.
on this, we've seen this
first-
at, like standard
first
Warhammer
of the
scale.
Hellmiths.
It's beautiful. It's still
Demon Smith.
beautiful.
Demon
Small
Smith,
scale.
yeah.
It's just little.
Yeah.
So those kits, like loads and loads of tanks, the Treadheads rejoice. All of the rules for those, in fact, all of the rules for all of the units in Legions Imperialis can be found in Liber Strategia.
I'll be
Essentially,
honest, this is less
a
boring than
thing
the
that
old world
combines all of the rules
release.
in one place. If you've got a copy of the core rules, you've got a copy of this, you are ready
Disagree.
to rock and
I'm
roll,
slightly
along
less
with
bored.
a
Maybe
whole
it's because
bunch
I
of
just
other
am
rules
still thinking
content.
about the.
There's too much to go into
Hellsmiths.
here and now, but have a look in the article that's going
Previous
to be on
release.
Warhammer Community, and we'll talk more about it closer to the
Cool.
launch.
Mastodon is
What
What
massive
if you
compared to a
really
normal
like the
Rhino.
letters A through F, and you want
love
to
them.
mark objectives and or token effects? We're releasing a really just useful set of token markers for you to use in your games. I find these sort of things very useful. For
Damn,
reminding
they
me
just
what effectively
3D
I'm
printed
doing.
those.
They just
Format
joined Etsy.
sheets you need.
Then we're, like you can find it on our Etsy store.
The team responsible for this setting have really just done a cracking job of making sure that like the rules are accessible, you can get hold of them. It's really fun time. I'm very
Yeah,
impressed.
kind of compiles a lot of stuff together into
Yeah,
a much
absolutely.
more convenient way of approaching
I've got a
it,
good
doesn't
friend who's super into it, and he was asking me about like how he gets all of his rules together. And I just had to sit there quietly, knowing that this was around the corner.
Wouldn't that be great if they're all in one
So
book?
your prayers have been answered. There's more stuff set within the Age of Darkness. We teased these in the Saturnine preview, but we have the Mark II Assault Squad. So I think we showed one before, didn't we?
We did, yeah. I absolutely love these. So this is the new Mark II Assault Marines. Mark II is kind of one of the more brutal looking of the various different Space Marine armor marks, and these guys have ramped that up even further. You've got some options in this kit for a variety of different weapon options. The coolest of them is the Chain Axe, which is an optional free upgrade to the chainsword that comes normally with your Assault Marines.
Yeah, so the kit's loaded with chain axes. It even has heavy chain axes for extra clout. Think of them as slightly slower than chain axes, but they have a more dangerous.
Yeah.
Sorry, chainswords, but they have a more dangerous effect. Absolutely. There are points free alternative. So if you buy these, it's just a straight points, no points involved, just a straight kit swap. If you're dying to have that classic chainsword loadout, then there's some good news because you can swap the arms with the ones that are on the Mark VI Assault Marines, or you can just get them from the upgrade kit. But I think compliance has never looked better than it does with a chain axe.
There's some great different options in there as well. You've got a couple of heavy chain axes too, which is another upgrade you can put onto some of the models.
I mean, I agree, Polly, but these guys look cool.
And close combat weapons. And as you can see with the Salamander on the screen there as well, you can also equip them with combat shields. So loads.
Oh hell yeah, Salamanders!
You can choose to.
Let's go.
With. I would imagine we're also going to see some of these converted with all the different Space Marine kits.
Get that Iron Warrior out of here. Put that Salamander on screen.
Is that so many of the kits are really interchangeable with each other, so you can take bits and heads and arms and weapons and stuff and really create it.
I really like the breastplate on these. That high gorget looks fantastic. They're just fantastic looking models.
What happens if a Canada Goose
there's
goes
more
into one of
coming
their
as well.
intakes?
We previewed the journal
Bird
tactical, which
Strike,
is
they go down,
available
dude.
to order right
Yeah,
now. In fact, all
because
of Saturnine
that's
is available
what
to
caused
order
the
right
plane
now.
that Sully had to land
There's
in
a
the
new
air
journal
in
tactical
the
on
Hudson
Horizons
Bay to
called
go
the
down.
Forges
The
of
Canada
Saturn.
Goose.
And this is really all about
Bird Strike's
Vulcan's
pretty
gift to
dangerous,
his
man.
brothers
Can
through the
you can
Saturnine
put us back on
and so
screen.
it
I'm
focuses very
back
heavily
supposedly.
on all of those suits of armor that we've seen in the Saturnine box.
Yeah, there's loads of great new options in this book.
See how long it lasts. I keep dropping for some
allowing
reason.
you to do
Video
more
Ninja's
stuff
not
with
happy
your
today.
Saturnine miniatures.
I like Saturnine
there
stuff.
are
It's
different,
cool.
basically, things that you can do to your Saturnine miniatures using other kits, mixing kits together to create new units. So this is a really great example. This is a Saturnine command squad, and what you've got here is a unit that's taken bits from the command squad sprues and also some spare bits from someone who's built a Saturnine Praetor with his axe. You get the hammer spare. You can now give it to characters in your Saturnine command squad and basically make them a champion. The other option that you can have inside this is to make one of your Saturnine Terminators into a Saturnine Centurion. That's the Thousand Suns
That
guy
looks
on
sick.
the far
Come on.
left there.
That Saturnine
Centurion
Dreadnought in that
means
Thousand
that you
Sun
now have like
scheme.
2 tiers of
That's
Saturnine
sick.
Commander you can have in your army, and effectively unlocks the ability to have an entire Saturnine styled army if you wanted to.
Yeah, one of the topics that's handled inside this Journal Tactica is the way the Legions embraced Saturnine armor. Obviously, to use it at all requires you to be at least to some extent psychically sensitive. That really plays into the hands of the Thousand Suns.
Thousand Suns love it. It's their favourite.
But there's all sorts of things. It's not just the Thousand Suns that sort of get the rub in this. So there'll be lots to enjoy, and we'll tell you more about it as we get closer.
Yeah, there's some really interesting stuff about how the different legions have sort of embraced it. So the Thousand Suns have sort of used it as intended to some extent and kind of put all of their psychic pilots inside them. The word bearers immediately crammed it full of demons just to see what would happen. But all of the legions, to some extent, have recognised the lethality of Saturnine technology and find a place for it in their legions.
Perfect. Right. We're still not.
Which is why no one ever talked
in
about it
this
until now.
Sort of area of the timeline. I am super excited to be able to announce today, on behalf of the Black Library, that there is a new mega series on the way. This is the Scouring. This is book 1 called Ashes of the Imperium, and this kicks off a multi-book, multi-author mega series set in the ashes of the Imperium. It's a perfect time. The Horus Heresy is ending. The Emperor is mortally wounded, enshrined upon the Golden Throne. The War Master is dead. The forces of the traitor legions are in full retreat. What happens next? So this series begins essentially at that premise. And here we have a very understandable confrontation between a battered and damaged Rogel Dawn and Rabute Gilliman, who has arrived pristine with reinforcements. And as you can see, they're at loggerheads already. Black Library are super excited for
Punch his face, Gilliman.
Because this is the culmination of a lot of work and effort between a really sort carefully assembled cabal of writers and creatives that have been plotting out a multi-book series, which we're going to see play out over several years. I'm really, really excited by this.
I think you were saying to me earlier on that there's kind of like 3 core themes out there that's being explored through this.
So in a nutshell, and without spoiling anything for those of you who want to enjoy it, I promise you spoiler-free, there are 3 principal themes. Theme number 1 is what happens with the legions Astartes, right? They essentially caused all of this, or their brothers have. They've ruined the work of the Great Crusade. The Imperium is in tatters. What is the place for the Space Marine legions in the wake of this catastrophe? For the traitor legions, the second of these sort of perspectives, the War Master is dead. Their whole purpose for doing this has now failed. The Chaos Gods withdraw some of their power. So suddenly they thought they were onto a good thing, and now they're relatively alone and at sea. How do they survive? How do they regroup? The third group is, in my opinion, maybe the most compelling, which is what of humanity, right? They've just watched these demigods wage war across the Imperium, ruin everything, destroy the Emperor's great works. The Emperor is mortally wounded. How do they respond? How does humanity rally, and how does it perceive the place of the Space Marine legions that remain?
Absolutely, and I think worth saying as well, this is absolutely, you can treat this as a self-contained series.
Oh yeah.
If you have read all of the Horus Heresy from Horus Rising all the way through the full novel series, and then gone through the Siege of Terror, first of all, very well done.
Xenos are never getting any books ever.
But if you are new to the Horus Heresy and kind of the setting and the era, you can absolutely just jump in with Ashes of the Imperium and treat the Scouring as a series in its own right.
Yeah, I have to give a little bit of a shout out to Chris Wright as well, who is the author chosen for this first book. He is a true gangster of words. He's written some of the really fantastic Black Library novels. If you've never read a Chris Wright book and you just want to dip your toes in ahead of trying this, I could not recommend enough Valdor.
Chris Wright is pretty good. I like his books.
It sort of sits outside the rest of the sort of Horus Heresy experience a little bit. Yeah. And it's like top tier Black Library fiction, and might be a fun way to sort of whet your appetite for more Chris Wright. As we approach the release of this, we're going to have a full-length interview with Chris talking about Ashes of the Imperium.
I heard that too. And, I feel like I've been ridiculing him a lot, though. So
yeah,
I didn't want to play it out.
Same. I just had to let that one go. We got him for spankingly. I went to get him for loggerheads.
Awesome.
Loggerheads earlier,
really
he said.
I'm super excited for it. We're not done yet.
We're not even close.
We promised that we would return to the grim darkness of the Dark Millennium.
Did you say grim darkness?
Here we go.
We do now with 5 new Space Marine heroes for 5 of the first founding chapters.
Here we go. Salamanders, White Scars, called it.
Returning that has previously been in metal and resin and is now in plastic. Vulcan Heston is a famed hero of the Salamanders chapter, and his particular mission is to scour the galaxy,
recast and
looking for the
this
relics
is a
left
new model.
by his Primarch, the namesake. Vulcan.
No, it's remade.
Himself. So he is equipped with an artificial suit of armor.
Okay.
He is carrying a
like
handheld
exactly how it used to look.
A blade of Vulcan that crackles with magma.
No, it's a slightly different pose.
Slice through enemy warriors.
Yeah.
He's also walking through flames, just in case you weren't sure he was as cool as he can be. He's just.
I think it looks badass. I think it's sick.
He is probably the most iconic Salamander's character that exists in Warhammer 40,000, and it's great to see him in plastic. He has a couple of head options. You can have helmeted or unhelmeted.
Health and safety first.
Both of them look very, very cool indeed. He is only one of the 5 new Space Marine characters.
Next up, we have a very iconic and well-known hero returning in a new incarnation. Darnath Lysander, first captain of the first company, I probably should say.
Oh.
Chapter. He's been remade.
Lysander has his name on a shield like a
Terminator
like
armor
a
style
kid.
for the first time.
Yeah, the same scale as the ones in
and he is a substantial
So you'd be
man
kidnapped
in that
easier?
He has an enormous storm
Lysander,
shield.
your mom told me to pick you up today.
She
can't
might be the
come.
best storm shield in Warhammer. It's up there, isn't it?
It's right up
It's
there,
up there.
yeah. I think the Lion
That's
might
right,
be with you, but
Lysander.
we're talking the top 3, right? Everything
That's right, I'm taking you to the
I do like that he's in Terminator
It's
armor.
nice to see a helmeted option in there.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely. They're taking the.
If you don't want to paint a face, and sometimes you just want to get him on the battlefield nice and fast.
Yeah, I mean, if it wasn't yellow, I don't know, I might find it easy to paint the flesh, to be honest. He is not the only. There are 5 of them altogether. So next up, we have Canog Var, a new character for the Iron Hands chapter. This is
look at that combo.
The captain
that
of the
fucking mall
Averni clan.
Yeah. The equivalent to your kind of captain of the first company.
Yeah.
Again, a Terminator in the same scale as the recent new Terminator kit.
little
Some
servo
really
skull
lovely little
vomiting.
features on here, really leaning into the kind of Iron Hands lore.
Yeah, that's
You've
weird.
got
What
lots
is
of,
that? It's like
nods towards his
showing like a
technological
like a
know-how and their kind of
holographic
alliance
thing?
with
It's a mall.
Adeptus Mechanicus.
Yeah, he's got
No,
sort of
that's
servo
cool.
skulls
The
attached
weapons
to
are
his
cool.
head
Yeah, I
and
don't
sort of
know. If
handling
he's like-
information. Look at the one on the bottom right-hand corner. He looks like he's projecting a Fortress of Redemption.
Yeah, he's got like a little holograph
Yeah.
of
That's cool.
Perhaps a building that they're
That's going to
planning
be a
besiege.
challenge
And
for a
I
lot of
think
people
my
to paint.
favourite thing on this model is actually the power maul, which is shaped after a Tetsubo, not a weapon I'm used to seeing, and it just really works on this guy. Sort of straightforward, practical, extremely brutal. Next up, and I think for many people this will be the sort of
This one's cool, guys.
the model which fires your imagination. The Raven Guard have
I
a new chapter master.
Absolutely love this guy. So the new chapter master of the Raven Guard. And you might be saying, Eddie, they already have a chapter master. What happened to Shrike? Shrike has led the Raven Guard for some years, but has decided actually his place is better in the shadows as the captain of stealth assaults, and he has left Etheon Shan to lead the Raven Guard as their figurehead.
That's
their commander.
nuts.
And the miniature is absolutely phenomenal. We very recently had Logan Grimnar released, I think only this last weekend, and this continues.
Honestly, I'll say it, we're all
the tradition
thinking
of
it.
having
I just think he's
an
very
absolutely
autumnal. He's
phenomenally
ready for
cool
fall.
looking chapter master miniature.
Yeah, he's redolent in sort of the imagery
Just
of the
like
Raven
as the
Guard
centerpiece.
chapter that you'd expect to see. There's those sort of tassels.
If you painted
that
the
sort of dangle
if you
from him
painted
with these
the
sort of secret runic
feathers
tips
as
of
leaves.
deliverance. He's got feathers and fetishes.
Look at those
and
claws.
He's got 3 head options. Aethon Shan is a.
I appreciate
really
him borrowing
just
Physics
tremendous
Scours, the
sensitive model as well, and I
little
think the Raven
shawl
Guard
there.
Fans out there are going to be delighted by what he presents. And there's one more. Saboden Khan. He is the first captain of the White Scars chapter. So he leads its first company
Oh, this is cool.
on this just mighty looking grav bike. It's got a Gatling cannon
Dude,
mounted
looks
into the
sick.
front. He's just the perfect embodiment of that White Scars hero huntsman archetype.
Yeah, it's very, very cool. There's all sorts of beautiful Chigorian details on him there. You can see the kind of pattern on the front of the jet bike is very reminiscent of some of their Heresy era designs on their dreadnoughts and things like that. We've got the model with us in a second. We're going to have a look at it. But
That's great.
There's some beautiful detail on the back. He's got kind of Chigorian shields
Kind
and
of feel
sheaths
like
and decapitated
salamanders
enemy heads and stuff like
may have
that.
gotten
It's
shortchanged.
just the most White Scars looking thing you've ever seen. It fits beautifully
Or
in
Iron
an army if you've
Hands,
got lots of
yeah.
outriders and fast-moving stuff.
Yeah.
It's been quite a long wait for the White Scars
Yeah,
to have
absolutely.
a character on a bike,
the
and
characters
it's
have
well
traditionally
worth
had
it.
to walk, haven't they? So not anymore. Really beautiful. How do I get my hands on these? You say there's some questions to answer there. There's a series of combat patrols coming out. Listen carefully, and I'll explain the one piece of nuance to this. Saboden Khan is in the White Scars combat patrol. You see it here. It's 3 outrider bikes, an intercessor assault squad,
And
a
they can buy the whole
transport,
damn thing.
and
That's
Saboden
lame.
Khan.
I mean, that's
He will
like
be available
honestly,
separately,
like that's a
not
cool
that
box.
long
But
after the
then
release
if you
of
buy
his
it
combat
twice,
patrol, he's the only one of these new heroes that comes inside a combat patrol. The others are available separately, but here are the combat patrols that come out with them. So you have an Imperial Fist combat patrol, just full of heavily armoured Imperial
cool.
Fist troops. You've got Terminators and a
That's
command
a great
group, and it
box.
just looks
That's
wonderful.
an amazing box, actually.
Next up, Iron Hands, heavy intercessors, heavy weapons, everything you might expect
That's
from
fine.
these
Okay, Melly,
tough,
that's cool, at least,
durable
yeah.
Actually, that's lame.
warriors of
2
the
turrets?
Iron,
That's lame.
Hands
I like
chapter.
it.
The Raven Guard, a bit more.
Fast and Phobos.
Yeah, fast.
way to
That's
do it.
good.
That's cool.
I like that. That was strong. Yeah, they're going to get in amongst.
I've
the
always
Let me
thought
guess,
Phobos-
Salamander's going to have a bunch of aggressors that everyone already
But
has.
what if you just want to carry all the flames all the time?
Yeah.
Every model
not
in
too
this
bad.
Called
entire
it.
combat patrol has something that makes you
No,
hot.
no,
ATV.
no aggressors. Hey.
You get your ATV.
I think there's some assault intercessors who maybe ruin my
Keep
attempt
it
to
your
finish
furnace.
it. But do you know
Never
what?
mind.
That is a lot of flame and
Yay, I get the
melter,
ATV.
excuse us.
Some new transfers in those kits as well. Adam, I know
Yeah,
you were a very
no,
big fan of that when we were
you've
looking
just,
through.
hit on
that's
my
cool.
secret nerd part of Warhammer. I get really excited by transfer sheets. I can't do freehand to save my life, but I can stick a decal on with the best of them. Each of these will come with its own transfer sheet, which means that you can apply all the details.
Alright, now I just want to
help
see
read
the
everything.
Salamanders
There's
get their
loads
chapter
of cool
master,
extras on those.
which we
Case in
also
point, the
don't
Imperial
have
Fist one
anything
has
for.
some decals that do Crimson Fists. So if you were a fan of the Crimson Fists successors, then you can fill your boots. We'll show you those ahead of time so you can sort of plan your purchases and your painting experiences as we get closer to these.
Yeah,
Should we have a look at the models?
Yeah, I've got some of the miniatures right here. We've got some kind of classic stuff, so you can see the scale of them, and we've also got some of the new miniatures.
You didn't put the salamander. Come on, man.
Raven Guard side. I brought along a
Regular.
Assault Intercessor Sergeant. It's not a small model by any stretch of the imagination, but you sort of get a sense of how big the new Chapter Master of the Raven Guard is there. He's on a big base. He's going to be quite an intimidating character. Certainly going to be the largest of your infantry models, probably standing not far off the height of a Redemptor Dreadnought at the top of his base there.
Yeah, what's interesting is you may have a tactical rock to sort of raise him up a little, but Darneth Lysander is such a brute that he's not that much shorter than either of the two models you just mentioned. He really is very dominating. And then Sabodin Khan next to an Outrider. First of all, check out the sort of similarities between the stylings, the sort of the shape of the bike.
The sort of
very
general
reminiscent
space
things that you see
marineness
on
of
the
them
Outrider.
and the white.
But if you spin it around,
Check out the similarity.
Yeah, there are so many lovely details on this. I really like the shield. There's some sheaths, there's some extra weapons. There's like, as well as having loads of lovely detail, there's also loads of space if you want to do some like Chigorian freehand or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's going to be up there with the Golden Demons and things, so that where people choose
it's
the models.
it's exciting to see what
It's
people
really
do
nice.
with it. So there we are, Space Marine characters.
Surely that's all the Space Marine we have time for.
So you say that, but there is a little bit more Space Marine on the way.
No, we got time for
This
more.
one's really exciting for me because I got to help a little bit on the team that have brought this to life. I am over the moon to present the first ever
That's not
officially
Black
licensed
Templars.
wearable Space Marine.
Oh, I just got more
This is
aboard
the,
than Old World.
Lieutenant Titus Mark 10 helmet made by Joytoy. If you've not heard of Joytoy, where have you been hiding? Joytoy make beautiful action figures under license from Games Workshop. They do Warhammer 40,000 ones, and they do Warhammer Age of Sigmar ones, and they do Warhammer the Horus Heresy ones, and now they have made this incredible helmet.
Well, Reverend, I told you to do Black Templars last. You're a hostage here until the end.
Adjustable sort of headbands, you can change it to fit your head. What that means is that unless you've got the teeniest, tiniest
Listen,
sort of
we
head, like
are,
a small child or a grot,
we are part of
you
the
should be able to make it
GW's
fit. I have
creator program.
the most preposterous.
If they want to
like,
send us
potato
one,
head
we'll-
imaginable.
I think I'm going to say what
wear
everyone
it.
is thinking, which is just put it on.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I
I will.
will wear it.
But before I do, so this is the prototype that we've been
I'll wear
sort of working with them on. And before I do,
We
I'm
can
gonna
use
flip
it instead of a
switch,
bag.
'cause
Sometimes
we're
we have a
under
bag
very
over each
bright
other's
studio
heads
lights.
for things.
But inside, can you see the illuminated a little bit? There's some
bit,
really
little
great
bit.
pictures that you'll be able to see later. But I feel like a Space Marine already. This is just
I feel like I'm
the
standing
best.
next to a Space Marine. It's incredible.
I mean, it's never felt so good to feel like
Except
Lieutenant
for most
Titus.
cool Space Marines don't even
so
wear their
the-
helmets.
The
They
lenses
just-
inside illuminate. You
Oh, what's
can
this?
buy
Yeah,
it with this
silly
lovely
boy.
display stand as well. This is the Mark 10 helmet stand. It looks
Oh,
like
the
something
display
straight
stand looks like a
out
piece
of
of terrain.
That's where you
Battle
put your
Barge
helmet.
or a
It looks like a
corporate
cool
model
piece of
cell
terrain,
where
to be honest
Space Marine
with you.
might put his war gear when he's finished on campaign. It's your choice whether you want to get the helmet separately or with that.
God,
but
make it
I've had this in my office for quite a while and it looks really cool. When can you get your hands on it, I guess is the question.
When can I get my hands on it, Adam?
I'm glad you asked. The answer is when this preview show is done, the pre-orders begin. So
Oh,
you'll be able to go
fuck.
to warhammermerch.com and pre-order it. So
Listen, you're not
just over
fucking
the
Todd
moon to
Howard
see
at
this
Oblivion,
in the
at
flesh,
Elder
in the real
Scrolls,
world,
Bethesda,
very, very
whatever. No one cares.
we're still not done with Warhammer 40,000. We need to go to Kill Team, to the Kill Team.
Mortal Reverie. There's no end.
This is a cool. Kill Team does the coolest videos.
Oh, Deathwatch's getting new shit.
Who's ever making their videos is a good job.
So, an amazing,
cool.
amazing new box for Kill Team, a new expansion, 2 brand new Kill Teams, a new Kill Zone, some incredible miniatures. Let's take a look. This is Kill Team 2
Oh,
World.
that
and
does
you get
look good.
absolutely loads in this box.
It's just bursting with cool
This
stuff, right?
might be the best Kill Team box.
Crowd goes
Well,
Way
playing
up
and
there.
I struggle
It's
to
up there.
argue.
It's up there. There's some beautiful stuff in here. I mean, if we talk about the battlefield first, you've got some absolutely amazing Necron scenery.
I mean, it is
a little bit
cool.
I like it.
the
I like
Dark
it.
Scenery
Very
Yeah,
cool.
absolutely.
and a while
Zone
back, it certainly
Mortalis
allows you
style.
to play games in that same sort of style. Doesn't replace it necessarily, but allows you to play that kind of close confines, up close battles.
I gotta go pee. I'll be
Really
back.
thematic. You've got kind of undead Necron crypts as the warriors wake from their eons-long slumber. But the kill teams themselves are probably where the real excitement is. So if we start off with the Deathwatch kill team, this is the return of the original kill team. The name kill team itself comes from the concept of Deathwatch, and they have come out with an amazing new range of miniatures. There are 10 of these guys in the box. You can build them in a whole range of different ways, and there are some lovely features. Adam, have you got any favourites from the
I mean,
mix there?
for me, I'm all about the big firepower, right? So, sort of bottom right, you have a Flesh Terrier holding a frag cannon, because that's the best way to greet the Xenos, right? Yeah, you can't really go wrong. I called him out as a Flesh Terrier because I happen to know he is. One of the things that's really striking about this set is that there's loads of different heraldic devices
Yeah,
available.
some quite obscure chapters as well.
Yeah, I mean, so Flesh Terriers are perhaps not obscure, but they're not necessarily what you might expect. For example, top centre, that's a member of the Wolf Spears, which is one of the few successors to the Space Wolves chapter. You've got an Ultramarine on the right-hand side. The crossed swords on the one bottom left, I think, is probably making him a Guardian of the Covenant.
I think you might be right. You might be right.
And as a Dark Angels collector, that's quite exciting.
We had a fun game earlier on where we tried to guess all the different chapters.
Yeah.
A Red Scorpion in there as well. You can't quite make him out, but
There's 5 more that you can see here. So if you see any that are a chapter that you're interested in, shout them out in the chat. I think the top middle guy is going to get some attention because there's a lot of fans for those guys. Loads of options, loads of different specializations for your kill team to be built with. They really are the personification of pick the right weapon for the job when you start your game.
And when you play kill team, the way that this
put
any
me
kill
back
team
up.
works is that you have a roster of different warriors, and then you can choose the ones you want before your game starts. You get 10 models.
All right,
in
everyone
each
wake up.
kill
Everyone
team.
wake up.
You've
It's
got
almost
loads
the
of
end.
options, and then you choose before each game. Your kill team in game will be 5 of those warriors, and you can pick any 5
If you want to wake yourself up, like the stream.
I mean, check it out with the underslung grenade launcher and all of the grenades just in the harness.
It's great to see a mix of Gravis and Phobos and
Yeah,
Tacticus
absolutely.
as well. So that's a Gravis, effectively a heavy intercessor archetype, but he's even more upgunned than you might expect a normal heavy intercessor to be, which have already got quite big guns. In game terms, the Deathwatch have got all sorts of specialist Xenos killing kit, but one of their things is effectively in each turning point you can choose one of them to use a special piece of ammunition, and you can basically pick a special rule for that gun to have, so it can be blast or precision or extra AP or something like that. So that a kind of quite long-standing concept of them having the
I
ammunition
wish they got
to
a
do
longer
exactly
shot
what
of
you
this
need them
guy.
to do, makes its way into kill team, as well as them just being pretty good all-round Space Marines, right?
Yeah, absolutely. But they're not the only thing in the kit, although you might excuse our enthusiasm for thinking so. There's also the Canoptic Circle. These are the Necron guardians of this tomb complex. Essentially, their
Necron is
job has
sick.
been to oversee the reanimation protocols of all of the Necrons that you see in these
I feel
alcoves.
like
We'll show you some more of the training in a
GW
bit.
has reached
And
peak
so-
Necron. model
one
design.
random warrior.
It's just, yeah.
Sentinels are ready
It's
to
just
now
like
sort of attack.
whatever
things.
they design
And they
looks
were just
cool
going
for
about their
Necrons.
business,
It just
waking up
doesn't
all the
matter
Necrons,
anymore.
and all
It's
of a
just
sudden
cool.
this very
Everything's cool
rude
for
kill team of
Necrons.
Deathwatch burst into
They'd have
their
to try
crypt
to make a
and decided
bad
to start
model.
wrecking up the place. So they've had to mobilize against them. It is a very powerful kill
They've really
team.
been leaning into the
This is
bug
Canoptic
aspects more.
Circle. It is led by a Geomancer, which is a type of Cryptech. That's the model you can see there. She is the leader of the warband, and she definitely kind of is the core of the force, right? So
And she's big and powerful.
she's
right?
big and powerful. Yeah, she alone can take on a Space Marine, but the other troops in her force need her to kind of be at the center to kind of coordinate the efforts. You've got a few different other models in the mix there as well.
Dairymancer.
As the Geomancer, you have remind me of the names of these.
The larger thing on the left-hand side with the guns on the top is the Tomb Crawler.
Yep.
Then sort of the right hand, and there's another one.
there's
sort of,
basically just an
central to the
immortal
right-hand
there, huh?
side. Then the smaller things, they are your
Just hanging out.
your reanimators or your warriors. So normally, day to day, they'd just be pooling around, making sure everything's safe and well. They'd be reanimating some Necrons, but when the Deathwatch come knocking, they leap into action.
Yeah, the crawlers have got some particularly formidable weaponry, right? So like they're up against the Deathwatch kill team. So the guns on those can take out a Space Marine if they get a good solid round of firepower. They are one of the you've got your kind of central character, which does all the kind of utility stuff. Then you've got 2 really good solid gun platforms, and then you've got the rest of the force, which whizzes around and does the objective taking stuff. So it's a really flexible little kill team. Also worth pointing out that the box has a bunch of Necron warriors.
Yep.
Why does it have a bunch
I
of
missed
Necron
when they were
warriors? You might
talking
ask,
about
they're not in
Chaos
the kill team.
Dwarfs.
Well, one of the other things that you get inside this box is rules for playing basically co-op missions where you both play as Deathwatch and you're up against hordes, undying hordes of Necron warriors.
Joint operations is super fun, and the chance to do this as a Deathwatch kill team, sort of stalking around a Necron, awakening Necron tomb complex is almost too appealing to say no to.
And just a great other way of playing the game.
I'm going to totally jump on it. Have a look around this board, and you can see in some of those alcoves there are those reanimating Necrons and stuff.
And there's like weird portals and
it's
glyphs
just
and all sorts of stuff.
Replete with cool imagery. There's fallen masonry. You can imagine they've been asleep for so long that seismic events, whatever, of course, needs to fall down. Plus, and or maybe the wolf spear hitting everything with his hammer. This is going to be just peak Warhammer adventures in a tomb complex. I love it.
And of course, both of these kill teams will be usable in Warhammer 40,000.
Yeah, absolutely.
There'll be a way to use your Deathwatch in that game as well, and your new Necrons. And of course, there is a new book, a new dossier that comes with this, which has all the rules you need to play these in your games of kill teams.
Yeah, let's have a look at some of them in the flesh. It comes in a box. There you go. Let's have a look at some of these in the flesh. In particular, it'd be good to get the Geomancer in because that gives a sense of the scale. So my favourite with the frag cannon, but when you put the Geomancer in here, square enough. There we go. So there's some like narrative around the events here, which is quite cool. We were having a read. So when we learned that the Geomancer was in fact a lady. If you haven't already tweaked
a lady Necron? Are you kidding me?
So you get a nice mix of scale from obviously the Geomancer and the
What's next?
The reanimators on the sides. Loads of stuff to feast on. This is going to be a very exciting time for Kill Team, I think. The Deathwatch are very popular with lots of fans.
Someone
so
fire
iconic
up
within the concept of Kill Team.
I think
Horus Galaxy.
wouldn't be an exaggeration to say the
Horus
most
Galaxy's
requested
going to
kill
be
team
mad on
since
Reddit.
The concept of kill team was sort of re-emerged into the consciousness.
Absolutely. Right. I think we've done it.
I think we've done it.
We're around the 90-minute mark. I did say it would be a long one, but we've shown you all of our Warhammer previews.
All right, Reverie. Here you go, Reverie.
Here comes your surprise.
We should go to question corner. That was a good prompt. Well done. Simon, there's probably a question or three, right?
There's quite a few. Yeah. Do you want some rapid fire ones to get you going?
Hit us. Let's see what we can do.
We're within 12.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. So start off with Old World. Are the new
Keep
Tomb
politics
King
out
minis
of
resident
Warhammer
plastic?
4000. I agree, Steve.
Let's go with
Nope.
the Kill Team. Is the new Necron terrain similar in dimension
I
to
want
the
this-
Galadark terrain?
It is similar. I don't think it's exactly the same.
Yeah, Galadark would be a good
authoritarian dictatorship to not be about politics.
So we've got Warhammer Underworlds. Will the new warbands or any of the re-released Grand Alliance warbands be receiving rules to use them in Warhammer Age of Sigmar?
I believe you can use all of them in Age of Sigmar, can't you? I don't want to. Certainly.
Well,
I'm not going to commit. There you go. Show my face as a face of non-committal.
Matt Rose,
One
get
thing
in
that is
there.
worth
Wake
mentioning
up,
is that
Matt.
Quite a lot of the new battle tomes have a place for the Warhammer Underworlds warbands as generic archetypes of that thing. So the Gloomspite Gits, for example, you've got a place for the wolves.
I think that's a more comprehensive answer.
That's
Eddie,
probably
well
the place that you'll find them going forwards.
that's fair. The Hellmiths are going into Warcraft. We said that already. We have
Yes.
said that. Yeah. Well done us.
So
been a long 90 minutes.
the Adeptus Astartes ones we've just seen. Does Subadin Khan have a helmeted option?
He does have a helmeted option.
Very cool.
Although I think
Safety first.
any adherence to health and safety would be an absolute abomination when you're riding free in the wind.
You
like the
might
White
be
Scars.
riding in a vacuum, at
No,
which point
no,
you're probably
just
allowed.
hold your breath.
Just
Get on with it. Yeah.
Okay,
They've got
cool.
reinforced
There you
skulls. I'm sure they'll be fine. So where can we expect to see the lore and rules for the shiny new characters?
That is a great question.
good question.
The rules will be available online.
So some of the rules, if the character is being re-released, already exist
Yeah,
in Codex
that's true.
Space Marine.
So Darnath Lysander,
yeah,
covered up
Vulcan and
already.
Lysander are already there. The other rules will be available online.
And I'm really glad you asked about the lore because I know a thing. Phil Kelly from the Warhammer 40,000 lore team came and had a chat with me, and they've written full background for each of these characters and narrative stories, which we'll be hosting on Warhammer Community in the week leading up to their release when that happens. I'm super excited because I don't know anything about Aethon Shan and I want to learn his story. So yes, there we go.
Awesome. So we've got two more quick ones if we can. So the Horus Heresy Age of Darkness. Are some of the wargate options that are currently no longer available to certain units ever going to be revisited?
So that's a good question. So we do know that there will be more
About to
things
fire
released in
Sai.
plastic
Like,
across
Sai,
the course of this
stop
edition.
picking the hard
Hey,
questions.
some of those
Sai,
plastic
can
kits
you
may see
screen
wargate
a little
options
bit, please?
returning that the previously been available. We might also see some wargate options that have never existed before added to those units. So
He starts asking you like
This
legal questions. He
YouTube
starts
user
saying,
has asked us to go fuck ourselves. What do you think?
At least
Should-
one.
will
because
we
it's got
be
the number
fucking
one on the
ourselves
side of it.
anytime soon?
I don't want to steal the thunder of any future sort of news from Black Library other than to announce it today. But what they have told us, and it was one of the best conversations of my professional life ever, to sit down with the editing team from Black Library as they sort of poured the Scouring lore into my open brain, was this is a multi-book, multi-author series, and so you're going to be following it for some years to come.
Grand.
There
Yeah.
we go.
Well, there's
Y'all better
Nope.
show some fucking Black Templar.
or that question right there.
Mind.
That question that got right there, that got asked, that didn't even get asked. Sai just made that one up.
So, what remains at this point in the juncture is, first of all, to thank all of you for tuning in and spending 90 minutes of brilliant...
Oh my god, are they really not going to show Black Templars?
Awesome.
Sorry,
there's some,
Mortal.
like, general housekeeping to do. If you missed anything
Wait.
in this and you
Oh,
want to
no.
know
Were they supposed
more,
to?
go to warhammercommunity.com, read the articles that are there on the website.
Yeah.
There's pictures.
Doesn't he have a
there's more
script
information
open, Liam
than
T?
Eddie and I would have remembered to tell you. And you can watch the videos back as well. If you are looking for more Warhammer excitement right now in your life, we're going to throw back to Tacoma, where there's Warhammer 40,000 tournament taking place, I believe, right now is what we're going back to. So you can hang around here, especially on the Twitch channel. I believe that is true. What else is there to say? The helmet. Go and find it on warhammermerch.com. I think we're done.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Brilliant. Right. Thank you, Simon, for asking questions. Thanks to the crew here who've made it all work. Eddie, it's been a pleasure.
Always a pleasure.
We can't wait to see you again next time. Take care.
Okay.
I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry, yeah.
R.I.P. to Mortal Reverie.
So let's do this before we go. Let's us see if things are up in Warcom.
Yeah, I do have to make this relatively fast, but...
Yeah, let's take... Okay, we got it.
I feel so sorry for Mortal. I'm sorry.
I know. I'll tell you what. We only...
They held him hostage the whole fucking time.
Okay, here we go. Stuff is here. Should we look at... Oh, I don't know.
I'm getting audio from the stream.
Okay. Should we look at...
Thank you.
I mean, I did that on purpose. I thought that was cool to have their
No, it's not.
their Envato music. Okay, let me find it. Here we go. Here we go.
Nice.
Where are? Okay, here we go. Horns of Hashut, or sorry, Hellmiths.
No, that's not the one. No, that's not what we care about. Lower.
This one.
Lower. Wait, where the hell are they? They didn't even
Are you
put
being
them up
silly? What's right here?
yet? Oh. All right. I mean, I think this is the winner of the show for me.
Yeah. What? So let's say that this is probably the winner. But I am curious what other people.
Yeah.
What other people liked. Hellmiths of Hashut army set. Yum.
Let's look at that book cover. It looks pretty good.
Yeah.
They might have it lower actually at the bottom.
Very
Yeah, man,
cool.
these look amazing.
You good? You excited about these? You feel like you got everything? Is it everything you hoped it would be?
Hold on.
Angela, go watch. I'm closing her for now, but go watch Hobby Night after this.
Oh, yeah.
Not right now. Okay. Yeah, these guys look great.
Yeah.
I don't know. I do love the Rockets.
I mean, I want to see. I think aesthetically, I like the cannon more. I guess it's like a piece of field artillery, almost like a mortar. But I like that. I like them both. I think I want to paint these bright green, so I'm trying to think of a color to do the fire because I don't want to do the fire the same color. I was actually kind of bummed when they see this. I was like, shit, I can't do it bright green now. But
yeah, do the fire. Just do it like normal fire.
Yeah, could do
Even
that.
that looks super cool. That'd be very Salamander-y of you, actually.
Honestly, yeah, I can finally paint a regular Salamander's army.
Traditional Salamander's colors.
Yeah.
There we go. There's the cover.
Yeah, that looks great.
Super
Honestly,
cool.
the Flesh Eater Courts have the coolest. Sorry, I'm blowing my mic out again. I keep doing that.
The Flesh
Sorry.
Eater Courts cover was great.
Yeah, Flesh Eater. Oh man, and all the characters look amazing. The most basic guy. Oh yes, fucking bull centaurs.
Yeah.
These look so good. I'm curious what they're gonna be like. They said these ones are a little more defensive, so I'm curious what that means.
These ones don't have armor on. They're topless, so their
Yeah.
armor save's gonna be worse. These guys I thought were quite cool.
Yeah, I dropped out.
You dropped out while we were talking about these, but
yes, but these are like flamethrower. Dude, it's salamanders. It's they're a bunch of like flamethrower guns. So this is like the perfect army for me.
yeah, these guys are cool.
Yeah, magenta fire is what I was thinking. I was thinking like pink and
Oh yeah,
and
that'd be
fire.
cool. That'd be cool. You got
The
your
Hobgrots look gate. Oh my god, dude, this looks so good. We have better Hobgrots than the fucking Cruel Boys.
Yeah, these guys look cool. And then this dude.
Yeah, these look great too.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. There's the actual book.
Yeah.
Wowie wow.
It's
What
looking
a gives like this is a great preview show.
Yeah, overall great. I'm sorry for
I'm sorry. Yeah,
I'm sorry, Mortal Reverie.
He's gone.
They didn't show Black Templars.
Yeah, yeah.
But,
this
short
was great. Can
Yeah.
we take a minute and just say thanks everybody for being here with us today. We're gonna head out because we've got a busy weekend. Tomorrow,
Yes.
Blades of Corn, Stormcast Eternals, right here at 11 a.m.
Yep.
Steven and Brad and myself. Sunday we have a bonus game. We don't normally have games on Sunday. 2 p.m. And that game is going to be Saray playing Kharadron Overlords, speaking of dwarves, versus Graham playing Disciples of Tzeentch. I'll be there as well. And then in the morning at 10 a.m., Saray and I will be doing some really kind of cool Places of Power that have a Votann theme to them. We're actually really excited about I'm really excited about this project. So that's...
And also keep your eyes out for a tutorial for some new models,
yes.
unreleased models that'll be coming out tomorrow morning.
Yeah. It's actually a big weekend, even after what just happened here. But this is wild. I know Brad and Steven are gonna be very hard tomorrow during the game, and want to be talking about the Hellmiths of Hashut. So it's gonna be super fun. We'll look through them again tomorrow during the game, no doubt. Saray, did we do everything? Do you have anything that we should chat? Is anything else? Anything?
No, I think that's it.
Turn off your stove before just stuff like
no,
that.
if you're not in our Discord, I'm pretty sure everyone here is on our Discord. If you're not, join our Discord. Make sure you guys like the video. If you're watching this after the fact, leave a comment. It helps us out a bunch. And I think we did it. Stay tuned for all the stuff that's going to be happening this weekend.
If you like our Discord, I will say this. I believe she's done it. I haven't heard from her. I don't know. She wasn't here today, but Meg has made an alternate thumbnail for today's stream. So go to our Discord, and if it's not up already, it will be up soon, and you'll want to check out that alternate thumbnail. As a team, me and Saray nixed it. We said no, we can't use that thumbnail. But
YouTube would have not liked it.
Yeah, well, we think it was ultimately was a tough call, but do go and check out our memes in our Discord. If it's not there already, tag Meg. Everyone tag her. If she didn't post it, just everyone tag her. Just at Meg. I want her to see a million and be like, "Where's the alternate thumbnail?" Boo. Revisionist history. Go and watch that thumbnail, and we'll see you this weekend for all of our games. Saray, anything else?
I think that's it.
All right, that's it. See you this weekend. Games, hobby stream on Sunday, 10 in the morning. Bye, folks.
See ya.